Going on, family. Make sure you guys get them likes up. Get them likes up. I know ain't nobody triggered in the chat out there. I know nobody triggered. Let's get them likes up, family. It's almost go time. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. It's almost go time, but before we do, let's give a special shout out to the sponsor, Teej Hanley, 30% off along with a free gift. That link is in the description. Shout out to the sponsor, Teej Hanley.
It's too early. Can't believe it's time to get up already. That's okay. A man's morning routine, everything. The first thing I do is I head to the washroom. My focus, brushing my teeth, my beard, my skin. Teej Hanley, uncomplicated skincare for men has changed my life. The face wash, scrub, the super serum, the eye cream, the AM PM moisturizer has people giving me compliments left and right about my skin. At the beginning of each week, twice a week, I massage the scrub into my face and then I rinse. Every other day, I use the face wash. I put it into the palm of my hands and I spread it evenly across my entire face and my head. The Teej face wash keeps the pores clean and also removes all oil. My favorite part about Teej Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really make the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin easy. And because Teej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they offer my viewers a great deal. Just click the first link in the description, and not only will you get Teej Hanley for the best possible price, but they also give you a free gift with your first box. Click that link to get started today.
That's right, family. Click that link. Feel the Teej. It's go time. It's go time. Going on, family? Welcome to Lapeef-ING Sundays. Introduce the crew. We got Shan Monet. We got Cal, Veronica, Mommy Three Loves, Hink, Bruiser, Indy, me and myself, I'm Lapeef JR. Welcome to Lapeef-ING Sundays. How y'all doing, family? How y'all doing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
What it do?
You?
Good morning, black people.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not black. Let's go ahead and start off right there.
Like,
Good morning. Good morning, my brother.
Say good morning, Nigerian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning, my Nigerian brother. Right on.
There we go. I don't think we're associated. I think I was watching a clip, and I think Akon said that black folks in America seem to be the only people concerned about slavery. And
I heard it.
don't bring it up. I thought that was kind of strange right there.
And being that my great grandma is Ethiopian, it's like it's just a lot of stuff that I learned.
You said Akon said that Americans are what, too worried, or we're the only ones that are worried?
We're the only ones that are worried.
Yeah. I mean, well, Akon from Africa, so that's interesting for him to say.
He's not even American anyway.
Right. Y'all coming for the brother, man. Are we shaming already?
He moved back.
Yeah.
So like
right. He went back to Africa. So he doing this thing on a whole other cultural wave than what the American black man has been through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because a lot of Africans, they call us lazy when they come over here. They say that black African Americans are lazy. We so unappreciated, but they kiss they kiss the other people behind. They do. They love the Go Falcons. Okay. Say something else.
Well, I'm glad that you keep being reserved in the house of the.
Yes.
Yeah. So shout out to you on this Sunday morning.
Thank
If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the sponsor, Tej Hanley. Uncomplicated skincare for men. They got all types of goodies, man. Make sure you guys get on a system immediately so we can get our skincare in order to make sure we are right, because we are definitely heading into winter, and now is the best time to really get that skin in order. Some folks may not experience bad weather, but some people do. So some people do have a winter. With that being said, hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We do have a member that became a member before the show even started. So shout out to P Hall. Has become a YouTube member, has become green. He's part of the green gang. Shout out to you, my chat ninja. Before we started the show, we were talking about, well, Mommy 3 Love was still talking about eating booty. I'm sorry. Booty getting eaten. That was on a previous conversation, something to that nature. I was actually setting up, turning lights on or something like that, and I walked into the conversation. So I didn't get the full context of what was going on. All I heard about was booty eating. And what's the thing I said when I came on the mic? That no man should be getting their booty ate. So we're going to go ahead and set that precedence there. But to each his own. I understand y'all some freaky motherfuckers. I'm going to let y'all go ahead and do that one.
I feel like we can agree. We all can agree on that.
Hink and Veronica was having a discussion about what took place on Thursday, the conversation that took place. And I think, Veronica, what you say, you talked to people in your family, some of your friends, to get their thoughts?
Get their thoughts on how I felt about
it. It took place last Sunday, JR. Sunday.
Last Sunday, okay. All right.
It's part of that Sunday energy.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But yeah, they understood my stance on that, and everybody, have a right to their own opinion, but that's just how I feel, and they agreed with me. So,
well, won't you tell the people what you're talking about?
I was a single mother, and my son's father didn't have anything to do with him. So I took the role. I stepped in and did what any mother would do, and they looked at me as not only their mother, but their father as well. And I received Father's Day cards, Father's Day gifts.
How disappointed is this?
I mean,
Veronica, did you want Father's Day gifts, or do you just receive it and you accept the grace? Or are you like looking to be considered, also the father? Like, it's one thing to accept that those are the things you had to do, which we all admire you for, but it's another thing to speak about it as if you're proud to have taken on the supposed male role in the life of your child. You know what I mean? So I just wonder what your thoughts about like actually getting them. Like, if you don't get them, would you be mad? Would you be kind of feeling some kind of way? Like, I'm the dad too, I should be getting Father's Day cards. Like, what do you think about that?
All right, thank you for asking me that question. No, my kids honestly, fathers, when they were small, they would make Father's Day cards and give them to me. I never looked at myself until until they started giving me Father's Day cards. So I embraced it. And no, I don't. If they didn't give me anything, which was never seldom, I wouldn't have felt no type of way. It's just how they looked at me when it were times when, they would have things at school for the fathers to show up, I'd show up. And I didn't realize how that touched my kids. You see what I'm saying? And so when they started giving me Father's Day cards, they looked at me as their mom and their dad. I embraced it, and I still embrace it. They brought that to me. I was doing what needed to be done.
But Mr. Ross,
were there other kids around who also didn't have dads, or what was your kids' friends' situations like? Like, was it a full house and you was the only woman there, or was it kids who didn't have dads at all, so you just never
You
saw
talking about in my household, family,
just,
or
your kids' friends, like their friends?
They were in private school, so they had families. They had families, mother and father.
So, Miss Veronica, you accused me of being angry.
Yes, yes, I did.
And I said I wasn't. No, I'm not angry. I'm a happy-go-lucky, good old Southern boy.
Mm-hmm.
But when I heard that statement, that really bothered me. It triggered me, as y'all ladies like to say.
It triggered you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So why did it trigger you? Why did you feel so passionate about what you were saying when you were directing your comments to me? Why were you so passionate? Which made me think that you were angry.
Well, it's not only just you, because you're one of many women who do the same bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what it is. It's bullshit.
Okay.
Because I feel like y'all trying to take everything from a man and try to make a man less of what he is. Mm-hmm. And trying to take everything and demasculate him pretty much. Say, we don't need men. Us women could be men and women. Mm-hmm. And that's disturbing to me.
Okay,
because that's not a title that you should ever claim. Mm-hmm. And I think when them kids did do that, you should have told them, baby, I appreciate this, but you have a father. And it's just unfortunate that your father's no longer around, or he's not in the picture, or he's not doing what he needs to do, but you do have a father. So I would encourage you to mail these letters to your father. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so now
I would have did if the situation was
okay,
me.
so now I'm gonna keep it 100. Now I'm triggered. For real, because at the end of the day, like you said, if you were in that situation, a lot of times, people can talk on what they will or wouldn't have done in situation, but until you've been in that situation, until you had to sit and watch your children cry because their fathers wasn't in their lives and you had to step up and do what needed to be done, you can't tell me that you would say, well, no, I ain't gonna be I'm your mother. I never talk bad about my kids' father. They had to come up with their own conclusion about their father and how he was. So if they felt like they want to look at me as being their mother and their father, you're damn right. I'm gonna take that role and wear it well. And I don't care who like it or who don't like it, who feel demasculated or whatever, but for me and mine, I did whatever I needed to do for my children. And if that made them feel better looking at me as being their father when I stepped in that role, then damn it, that's what I am.
I got a follow-up question for you. Let me ask a question real quick, because I get what you are saying because you were in that moment. But do you understand how in most cases, right? Because we like to speak to the majority, how that would affect children differently if they don't understand the importance of a man's role, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. Because like some people may say there might have been some men in the family or within the community that could have acted as maybe like a role model, or it could have shadowed or either fill in. Because sometimes as a father, you might not be doing a great job, and you got to surround, even as a father, you got to surround your children around men that they may have more of a respect for or more of an influence. Maybe they need to see other men doing other things. So that's always an option as a father if you're not reaching your child. Let's say your child doesn't respect you for whatever reason. Maybe y'all fell out, maybe something happened, maybe it's an unusual situation, but there are things that can be put in place where a woman doesn't have to say, hey, I'm the man and the father. Now, I do believe that you did what you had to do because you had no choice. But speaking that rhetoric to that child, it can psychologically do something to them that I don't think that most women realize. And like I never looked at it in that situation because I grew up in a single parent household, but my grandfather was my father figure in my life. So I got some gems about how to run a household, how to be a man, how to take care of things and problem solve, but a lot of things that I miss because I didn't have a father present in the home for majority of my life. And my mother didn't teach me anything. So I had to learn everything by failing and just learn on my own. But when you say that, if you look back, if you could do things differently, would you still say that rhetoric, knowing what you know right now?
To be totally transparent, would I change it? No, I wouldn't. No, I would not. I wouldn't. And to look at it to say, I think when I put my kids in a position to where, and I'm gonna speak on two things on this point, maybe three. As mothers, when you're not giving, and fathers, you're not giving a manual. You do what you feel is best for your children. I always wanted my kids to have better. If things was different to where their father was in their life, I would have absolutely loved it. I would have loved it. How many times did I reach out to their fathers? How many times did I literally say, listen, we're not together, but do not disregard your son. Do not disregard your daughter. But it was by their choice. So with their choice, I had to make a decision. When my children look, and I don't have anything to do with anybody else or how they feel, people may disagree with me, but that's none of my business. At the end of the day, I put my children in situations to where they can have a better life than me. And in doing that, if I had to go and teach my son how to play baseball, basketball, then that's what I did. I didn't look to nobody else. I was so overprotective of my kids, I didn't trust a lot of people when it came to my children. I felt like I knew what was best. And for me putting them in situations, even in putting them in private school, it still was a situation there. Because why? The other kids looked at them as being poor. But I never let my kids say they were poor. But that was something they still had to deal with. But I knew in the long run, it was going to help them out in their future. You see what I'm saying? So when my kids come to me and say, Mom, thank you for, coming to my softball game and being there with me. And I look at you. Well, when they didn't say they looked at me as their father. They gave me the Father's Day card. I accepted it. There's no way I was going to disappoint them. If that's how they wanted to see me as their mother and the father, then that's so be it.
So
Veronica said, let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about
we're gonna go to India. Okay, Hank.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead, Hank.
I was gonna say you talked about your son. Well, let me tell you this. I was that boy that you was talking about. Mm-hmm. I was that son that you was talking about that didn't have that father in his life. Mm-hmm. My mom and dad, they got divorced when I was 10 years old. So I went majority of my life without my father. He wasn't there before they got divorced. But then we got divorced. He really was just completely gone. Mm-hmm. So I was that individual. But like Jayon said, I had my grandfather. I had my uncle. But not one time did I ever think about giving my mother a Father's Day card. Not one time did she even ever heard the other than mouth talking about he's a father too. Just didn't do that because we all knew and respected, because we knew what a good father was. It just so happens my dad wasn't that. But I did have good fathers. His brother was a great father, and he was a father figure to me. Mm-hmm. Every week I go to his barbershop. He's putting game in my ear. He's allowing me to work in the shop, spitting game to me, teaching me, educating me. I'm hanging out with my great-grandfather, my grandfather. They enlightened me. You know what I'm saying? Just cousins, big cousins. Because they want to pour into me. They knew what I was going to. They seen the hurt in my face. I even mentioned it when I was about 12 or 13, how hurt I was because my father wasn't doing things. I even talked about it on the show. I used to be jealous and envious of seeing other classmates and fathers, they had their fathers with them because he wasn't there. But I wasn't going to let that be excuse of calling a woman or telling a woman Happy Father's Day just because she stepped up as a mother.
But did that's what you.
I understand, Miss Veronica. Let me finish, baby.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But she did what she had to do as a parent. That's what you're doing. You're doing the same thing. But to accept and say I'm a father too, you're downplaying us. You're belittling us. Like I said, you've shown that there's very little importance in us. We already have that problem right now. But to keep on pushing that narrative out there, that is not helping us. Now, I know I'm probably not going to change your mind, change your thought. You already fixed, you already set in your ways and cool. You other young black women out there, please don't start doing this. Please don't do
Hey,
this.
let me ask you a quick question,
Hold
like a
on, hold on,
follow
hold
up.
on, Cal, hold on. I say Indy. Let me get
Oh,
get
okay. Oh, yeah. Go
in.
ahead. My bad.
No disrespect to you, Miss Veronica. I got
Oh
love
no,
for
none
you.
taken, sweetie.
Right
None
on.
taken.
I think that being a child that was kind of like in that situation, because my biological father was incarcerated. And so he physically, like literally could not be there. And I think that what Hank was hitting on, as far as like my mom would have benefited from finding, because there was a reminder like, oh, okay, your grandpa is your grandpa. Your uncle is your uncle. Like there was no like, okay, this is a male figure in your life, blah, blah, blah. So we knew that there was no dad until my stepdad came around. And I think that we would have benefited from maybe her, like Veronica said, kind of stepping in and at least showing up. Not saying like, hey, I'm daddy, but like I'm here for you in lieu of, or sending another male in, because it is detrimental to like look up in a stand or be around or have a Father's Day event. My grandpa took me to my daddy daughter's day dance at church and stuff like that. So like having a man present or having a male there, like you can't replace that, but still having somebody there, period, is better than that absentee, because it does mess you up psychologically, like looking around and saying like no one is here for me. It creates a sense of abandonment almost.
Yeah, I think you did speak on something that was good, and it just made me think about traumatic experience that people go through with men, and so that can be looked at as a traumatic experience, and how are your kids going to view, as a son, as a daughter, these men out here. So I think that mentality sometimes plays into other things. Like we don't really realize what we do at an early age, how it affects our children. We may think that we're doing the right thing, but I think part of growth and part of the reason why we had these discussions and conversations is that we had different perspectives, but you have to have an open mind to be able to receive the information and be able to play it in your head. Could it have been done better? I think a part of life would be to seeing if you can get as close to right as you can, but you have to make sense of it. It has to make sense to you in order for you to perceive it to be on the right side versus the wrong side. So life is about minimizing the risk and the potential. So is there a higher risk for your children to go out and view men this way? Or can you minimize that risk? You can still show up, do everything you do, but I think that when you program them a certain way, how does that psychologically affect the children moving forward when they enter these relationships? Because we always talk about the community, but the community starts within the home. And so if we are doing things that we are unaware that's incorrect, then what? In your head, it could be as right can be. But then when you transition, everybody else on the panel transition, now kids are left here. How do we leave them? Are we thinking about that on the front end and less concerned about it? Because we're not trying to scold you, but I just want you to have an open mind to what we're saying. So when we shut down these computers and we sign off, let it marinate a little bit. Let it process. I don't think we're saying anything wrong. I just think that could have been a better way. I always think everything I do in life can be done a better way. It's always a better way I could do things. And so when you move forward and you're in that situation again, is there a better way? So it's just my thoughts on it. Go ahead, Kyle. I know you had a follow-up question.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like Indy might have also answered it, but it was originally going to be directed at Hank. But just, overall, in those moments and in those events where there's a daddy-daughter dance, a dad and son walk, what I mean, whatever it is, being those children in those moments, would you rather there be no one, or would you rather your mom walk you through? So like in the daddy-daughter dance, if the daughter has no one, let's say you don't necessarily have an uncle or a grandfather or whatever, and it's just you and your mom, would you rather just not go, or would you want to go because it's kind of a daughter event, it's to celebrate the children in a way. So would you want your mom to take you, or would you rather just not go? And then Hink, in your particular position, if you had any kind of a dad event, you know what I mean? You go to the game, you may not have an uncle or grandfather there with you necessarily. Would you not want your mom to be there in those moments, you know, represent when it's in a moment where there's dads? Would you not want your mom there to where you have no one now? Or, you know, what are your thoughts on that? When we're talking about like traumatic experiences and things like that, like I feel like having no one is worse than having your mom in place of your dad.
So is that first question, is that for me or was both questions for me?
Either one. I feel like, Indy, you can go first just in terms of, you know, you said your grandfather took you to the daddy-daughter dance. Did you feel any kind of way? Did you feel a little bit less than what everyone else was experiencing? Or how did you feel about that?
So I was really lucky because I grew up, because my mom had me at a teenage mother, like she was 16. So like the grandparents or like the community of men in the church and stuff like that, they were my mom's village. So for me, I didn't feel weird. But I have a child and he had like Daddy's Day, like donuts or whatever it was. And my stepdad works, so he couldn't be there. And my brothers, they were, you know, doing stuff. And so I showed up and, you know, he was like looking around like, you're the only, like, you know, one of the only moms at this event. So he's 7. So he's still really little. And I still haven't even unpacked with him quite yet, because that's a really heavy topic as a parent to talk to with your child at 7 years old. Hey, your dad is choosing not to show up to it's not that he's unable to. My dad was incarcerated, so he literally couldn't be there even if he wanted to. Your father is choosing not to be there. So, I mean, for me, I didn't feel a difference because, like I said, that was part of the normalcy of my community growing up.
So what drove you to take him to that event? Like what was the motivator?
Feeling that I had as a child when like my mom wouldn't show up, period. So maybe she couldn't get somebody to show up to something, right? Because my grandpa was an electrician, he worked, stuff like that. Somebody else was busy. And I was looking around at soccer games, whatever it might be. And I'm like, no one is here. And as an adult in my adult relationships, it has created abandonment issues for me. Like if my partner doesn't show up for me mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever it is, I take it out on them. So it does affect you as an adult.
Well, to answer the question with you, Kyle, what would I do in that situation? I don't have no problem with her showing up to a father and son event like that. I have no problem with that. I understand. She did what she had to do. Speaking of Miss Veronica, Miss Veronica did what she had to do as a parent. I applaud her. I uplift her. I give her props and credit. But to sit there and claim that I'm the father, that's when it goes overboard. I understand you have to show up for the event. So I would do that. If it calls for a mother and daughter thing and my daughter's mother wasn't around, I would show up. I wouldn't have a problem with that. And I would also want to know the comfortability of my daughter. Do you feel all right if I did this? That would be my first question. Baby, I'm going to show up because your mother can. Are you okay with that? And then I'm going to have a conversation. If she's okay with it, I'm there. Whatever I got to do, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I will have a problem with Miss Veronica doing the same thing. It's just when she made that statement, I'm the father and the mother. That bothers me because she's not the first woman I ever heard say that. I hear a lot of them say it. Come June the 18th or the 16th, whatever the date is, you're going to see it. I've seen cards in Hallmark aisles of areas where these mothers are getting Father's Day cards.
What?
This is overboard. Yes, that is too much. I've seen commercials where they're advertising this shit. That's too much. So now we're looking less than. I can't go for that, dog.
I just got one question for Veronica. So,
yeah.
and we got to transition to the main to some topics. But were you single the entire time that you were raising your kids, or did somebody come into play that could be a father figure?
Yeah, no, I wasn't single the entire time. And when somebody did come into my life, I still received. But see, here's the thing though. Hank, I get what you're saying, but if that's how my children want to view me as being both, I'm not going to disappoint them. I'm not. If that's how they see me, and that's not to take anything from
Yeah, but they
any
don't know
other
no
man,
better, Veronica.
huh?
Yeah, but they don't know no better. They only know what you're teaching them. So
I
if
didn't
you're
teach them that. So let me cut you off for one quick second.
what,
So one thing
well,
my
you
mother
don't have
told
to
me,
be. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
my mother told me when my children was little, never talk bad about their father. Let them make their own decision when it comes to their father.
I
They will
agree.
see what type of father they have.
I agree.
I didn't do that. So when my children decided, you know what, you're always there for us, and I'm kind of paraphrasing however they were thinking. And when they were at school, had to make the little cards or whatever, and they brought it home to me. No,
But
I'm not.
where did they get? But where did
What's
they
up?
get the idea of giving you a Father's Day card? So they just thought about it on their own, like they had no influence from you whatsoever. Because I know you.
None, none
So like, you didn't say
whatsoever.
that I'm the father, that I'm the mother and the father. You didn't say that at all.
I swear to God, no, I did not. No, I didn't. I was
But
always there. And here's the thing. Hold on. I will say this, and I'm kind of chuckling. My son and daughter would always say, you know what? My mama always showed up to everything we had. She was late, but she always showed up. Always. Never an event that they had. Never was on time. And they'll tell you, never on time. But I was always there.
I got a question for you, Veronica. Why did you feel like you would disappoint them if you didn't accept the Father's Day card?
Because their father already disappointed them. They were already disappointed by their father's not. See, here's the thing, Hinkin, you can relate to this. I'm sure there was a lot of times when you wondered why your father didn't want to have anything to do with you.
yes,
You
I
wondered
did.
a whole lot of times, is it me? A lot of times, these are the conversations that I had with my children. I couldn't answer that. I
This is
couldn't.
true. That's true. All that what you just said right there is true. But let me say this though, Ms. Veronica, real fast.
Mm-hmm,
There was a teachable moment
mm-hmm.
when they gave you that card. Even if you accepted that one time, that moment you should have said, "Babies, I thank you, but I'm not your father. I thank you for the card and I appreciate it, but I'm not your father. You have a father, and I'm gonna do everything in my power to connect you guys and to help y'all build a relationship. But I'm not your father."
You know what, Hank? Believe you me, if y'all only knew the whole story,
You
how
right.
many times
You
I
right.
tried, how many
We
times
don't.
I
You
tried.
right.
So to see hurt in your child's eyes, to see that, and for me to, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. If baby, if you see me like that, then oh, thank you, thank you. Now,
So
Veronica, your kids are grown now.
do they disrespect the union of husband and wife? Do they disrespect male figures as being fathers? No, they do not. My kids are very respectful. They know the difference, but they know our story.
So would it hurt you to see when they grow up?
Veronica, your kids are grown now. They're adults now.
My son is 34
Okay.
and my daughter is 29.
And they have
Oh.
marriages, relationships?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, Ms. Veronica. Have you ever thought about asking the question? How did that make you feel when I did these things or accepted these things or never even turned it away from you calling me saying Happy Father's Day and give me gifts like that for Father's Day? Have you ever asked him that question? You ever had that conversation with him?
Well, when my son gave his acceptance speech for the award that he received, he explained all of that.
Okay.
Because he wrote a play called Daddy. And I don't know if it's printable, but he wrote a play called Daddy. And in that play, he had a lot of things that I would say to them when they were small. And during the play, I cried like a baby because I was like, I cannot believe that you held on to all those things, right? And I said, son, if I could have changed anything in your life, I would have. If I could have maybe picked somebody else to be your father, son, I would have. I'm so sorry. And you know what he told me? He said, Mom, you don't have to apologize. Our life was the way that it was because that's how it was supposed to be. And I said, if your father came here today, son, would you turn him away? He said, no, I wouldn't. Because what he did, that's what he decided to do. It is what it is at the end of the day. I'm sorry.
You good? Right on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Take a moment.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and try to bring it back full circle.
You need some tissue, JR.
Oh, me?
Yeah,
Oh, no. I'm okay.
I got you, brother. If you need one.
No, it's just one of those things. But like I understand everything is situational, so we don't know all the ins and outs of her particular story. But by default, I still don't think it's a good idea
Mhm.
to push certain narratives if we don't have to. And I'll just be a little transparent in my situation. I was a single parent. I got full custody of my oldest. He's 17 right now.
Mhm.
I had him since he was like 1 or 2. And the one thing that I can think about is that I can't be his mother, and I don't see too many men getting Mother's Day cards. It's just not a thing. But it's so easy for a woman to put herself in a position and saying, I'm mommy and daddy, whether they telling the kid or not, but they just take on that role. And I still think that you can still carry the weight of a man and of a man and a woman, a mother and a father, without having to push the narrative. So the thing that I was trying to look for in that particular situation was like, man, how can I surround my son by somebody that's a motherly figure? Because I wanted him to have that. I understand in your situation, you said that you didn't really trust a man to be able to lead your kids, and it's cool, right? But that was important to me, so I couldn't see myself saying I'm a mother, because I think mothers carry a certain type of love. I was hard on his ass. I mean, believe it or not, I was overprotective of my son growing up. I was keeping him away from a lot of stuff because I had to take on both roles for a long time until I was able to trust somebody to be able to fit into that mother position. And it still will never be the same, right? Even if you have somebody that's there, it's still different because the child knows. The child knows. So even though you're taking on that role, they still know that you're not their father.
So
So
JR, if you had, because you have a son, so like you're a male. So like if you had a daughter and you were doing it on your own, right? And like you had to learn how to comb her hair, and there's certain things that we as women have to go through, like period, menstruation, stuff like, how would you like have handled that if there was no, like you said, like it took you a while to even trust a woman figure to come in.
well, I think you have to lean on to the people that's in your family, because I mean those are the people that you trust. So aunts, grandmothers, um, cousins, just whoever you can reach in that moment to help. Because when I got them, I was looking on my family to help, to support. So I missed out on a lot of shit. And I do understand how it is to be a single parent, and you have to sacrifice so much, because it was at that moment you learn you're not living for yourself, you're living for
Mhm.
somebody else. And I don't think a lot of parents really understand that,
Yeah.
that it's not about you no more. It's really about them. You can fit some of your time in if you can,
Mhm.
but you have to really set up a structure where you are being a parent, because just because the kids are in the house doesn't necessarily mean that you parenting.
Mm-hmm.
You have to actually like get up and spend some time, and we all guilty of it. I never claim to be a perfect parent, but there's just so much things that you learn.
Mhm.
I don't think us as adults realize how much our kids pay attention to what's going on, and sometimes you don't see stuff until later. And so while you may be trying to prevent something else from happening, you're also creating something at the same time that you not realize you're creating. So I mean, I'm not wishing anything upon her. She said her son graduated from an incredible college and her kids are doing well. But as we speak to the masses outside of the situation, would you instruct them to do this the same way you did it? Or can we come up as a group a better way for them to do it? Either suggest it, because we can say whatever we want to say, but it's going to be up to you how you internalize it. So it has to make sense to you, but
So I
it's
have a
up to us to.
question,
Okay,
real
go ahead.
fast. So, what is your suggestion? What do you think is the proper way for her? What should she have done in your eyes?
If I
Besides
could,
the Father's Day card, because that's one day, but just in general.
up in general, I just think that you would lean on the people that you trust, that are like father figures in the life. So whether it been her dad, or whether it been her grandfather, maybe she has a brother, I would kind of like lean on them until she vetted properly if she wanted to have a relationship with somebody. You know, because if you made a mistake the first time, and we can't always get it right, sometimes things happen. But if you vet somebody like great enough, then they would kind of fill in that slot if it turns out to be that way. But I would just lean on the people around that she trusts that I'm in, because I still think that the boys need to have that man figure, and just like the girls need to have that girl figure too, that woman figure. If I had a daughter, it'd probably been harder because I don't know how to do no woman's hair.
Yeah, my dad had to do my hair, and it was I used to get.
I still can't do it. I still can't do a ponytail.
When my mom passed, my dad he struggled to put ponytails on. I used to get picked on, but I used to tell them my dad did my hair, and
I'm proud of it.
Right. I mean, so to us, it's like in some cases there's not a right or wrong. It's just you got to do what's best to fit that situation. But can it be a better way? Is there a better way? And I think that if you could be more on the right side, and I think having a man figure in her child's life is important. So figure out how to get that done. Like don't just take on that road because you have to, because sometimes you can be scorned by men at that point, and you don't even want no man around, and the children are suffering. So
in that situation, Lapeef, you know, as a parent, again, like you said, you're selfish. You're not selfish. You become selfless, and you want to do what's best for your children. And again, we make a lot of mistakes along the way. Could I have done things differently? I'm sure I could have. But what would you say to the women that don't, even though I had a father and brothers, I didn't agree with a lot of the way things they did and how they lived. So it won't, but so much I was going to let them impart. So what do you say to the women like that? Yeah, I do have, father figures or whatever, but I don't too much like how he's abusive verbally and physically to my mother. My brothers in the streets, living the street life, and they said, this is how you be a man. You can't change their mind. So why would I, and mothers like that. So again, there's no, again.
The only thing I think we're saying is we got to move on. The only thing I think we're saying is that it's not a problem that you stepped up, right? So if nobody's around, you got to do what you got to do. But I just think it's the rhetoric that you was, it's not because you say you didn't tell them. No, it's what you're telling, right? So it's what you're telling us. And I can only imagine your actions behind what you're telling us. So I think there has to have been a strong side that they were seeing from you, more of a strong side than more of like the woman's side that they were seeing. Mm-hmm. And I think that they recognize that. Oh, and it may not present a problem, but they may have a certain idea of what they expect a woman to be. And they're going to look at a woman as just being, I don't know. I don't know if it's a right or wrong thing. I just think that.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And you're right. I do. And you all know from the panel that I have a more masculine, strong side. You know what I mean? And listen, that's just how I roll. Just the more masculine side, that's what they see. And,
I have a suggestion.
Mm-hmm. All right. Go with your suggestion. Then we're going to move on to the actual show, because I know we carried this on to a whole topic.
You did. Y'all absolutely did.
Yeah, really fault.
Listen, so if your child, because Veronica's kids are older now, if your child comes to you with a Father's Day card, just say, no, I'm not the father. However, I'm a super mom. So you can give me a super mom card next Mother's Day.
Bars.
All about solutions.
All about solutions.
When they drop in bars. If you guys just tuning in, welcome to Lapeef Sundays. Make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. They have a few super chats come through. P. Hall, remember Jay. I just highlight this comment. No man should be getting their booty ate on purpose. And that was from, if you just tuning in, it seems probably weird to see that, right? But we was talking about we was having an unusual conversation before the show started. And
hey, shout out to Jay.
If any woman gets close, that's when you begin to muff. I'm not saying hit a strike.
How you accidentally get your booty ate though? Like how does that happen?
Right. That means you had to lay there to take it.
Yeah. You let it get too low to begin with.
The fact that you were so relaxed as it approached says a lot about you. You were welcoming it. I mean, there should be some type of restriction or something like, hey, what are you doing? Where you going? You have to stop there right there, because if you allow it, then to each his own. I mean, hey, some of you guys do some weird shit, but I just couldn't see myself. And somebody in the chat says, "Yeah, I don't like being on this backside." And I get certain positions you want to be on your backside, but damn, like I just don't. I'm more dominant. I'm more control. I don't like to be controlled. Like dragged around like I'm the toy. Like, come on now, lay down. It's all about you. Oh, okay. What you about to really do? Oh, whoa. Like, how do you allow that to happen?
JR, you laying a spread eagle.
You gotta lift a leg, right? You have to comply with just
yeah, I mean, like you shouldn't be. I don't know, Cal. You know a lot about it, Cal.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that you can't. That don't happen accidentally. You know what I mean? There's some steps you gotta be okay with first to even get to that point.
Yeah, I mean, how comfortable are y'all? Y'all must be real comfortable for a lot of Yeah, I'm sorry about my first folks on the
friends on the other side though that are into that stuff. I'm young, so like they be telling all their business, but I have friends that are into that stuff, and it does just happen. Like they don't ask the guy, they don't do that. It happens when they're already in a vulnerable position.
But you shouldn't be that so far gone that you don't realize what's going on. I mean, I don't get that. I mean, because then you have to question. I mean, what's next?
I guess they be trying to.
What's next?
This one, I can't have this conversation.
I mean, I be hearing some stories like, and I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you know what's next? They're gonna be taking thumb to the butt.
Right, that's exactly what's next.
But you'll be surprised.
I think most women might make a mistake because they trying to get to the male G spot, which is in between, And I feel like most women they make a mistake and go there, but
I mean, you can, if you're comfortable, you can make any part of your body the spot. You don't have to go there. I mean, that's you don't have to resort to that being the spot. You should not be
orgasm that man would ever.
I know, but I mean, think about the woman, right? I mean, think about the woman that says that if she has these conversations, or what we're talking about psychology, how she's psychologically thinking when she did that to her man. Like, do you look at him like a man?
I mean, if I said it for clickbait, I ain't know gonna get like.
It's like y'all, but what I'm saying is that y'all talk about the men.
I know some people that
y'all talk about the men like I dated some men and that. Like y'all talk about them. So imagine like that's your husband and still you doing that shit. You looking at him differently.
Why would you look at somebody differently if you go into another sexual level?
Y'all married. If y'all
hold on.
I stand on what I stand. Should no man be comfortable with anything?
Okay,
all right. For the sake of,
I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm just telling you my stance on it, and that's how it's just gonna be with me.
This for the sake of the audience, for the sake of the audience and the younger viewers, nobody should be made to feel uncomfortable to what they like to experience sexually. I think that's a big problem within the Black community where people are afraid to express their sexual desires, or if you decide to do something.
And where has that gotten us, Veronica?
This is old.
Help us all.
And where has
listen, this is Hink. You bring something new to Hink, the first thing he gonna say is, "What the hell you mean? Where you get that from? We ain't been doing that."
And there's a bunch of new things you can do besides that.
Yeah, right, Veronica.
Try all 1,670 of them things first before you even think about it. Let's move on, y'all. I don't know where y'all going with this.
You're getting uncomfortable.
But men go.
You said what?
Whatever you do in your bedroom, you do it in your bedroom. If that's your husband, your wife and husband, whatever if y'all want to get as freaky as y'all want, you do what you want to do in your bedroom. I want to.
That way, he don't have to. He wouldn't have to be curious about doing it. Because listen, I work with a guy. I work with a guy that said that he go outside his marriage because his wife won't experience things with him that he want to experience.
That sounds like trauma to me.
With you?
That sounds like trauma to me.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying
that sounds like something happened on the.
Ain't nothing wrong with a man eating out behind her.
Okay, it's getting too.
Okay, I mean, I'm just saying.
You need to report that man to HR. That's what you need to be
I
doing.
don't
You need
look
to
at him no
report his
different when he
ass.
do
That's what
that.
you need to do, Veronica.
I don't look at him no different when
Yeah.
he do that.
Like y'all women looking to emasculate the man. Yeah, come on now.
No.
Hey,
Inspire
hey,
one
started
499
off
says
like
much
they gonna
respect,
continue, I guess.
much respect and admiration to you, Sister Veronica. Please be open to correction by these men. I know it's hard to hear. They speak wise words. All right, 999 also, man. But I was single. I was a single father raising my daughter, and it was highly offensive to me to be wished a happy Mother's Day. My response was always, I'm only being the best father I can be. All right. The Will 499. Shout out to the panel. Salute to Brother Hink. Demon time. James Holman said $20 also a member. No comfort zone. Shout out to you. And then we also have Marcus Evans $5. Don't be surprised if Veronica is into that mess. Veronica, are you into any mess? You don't have to answer that. It's just I was speaking to you.
Talking about.
I don't know. That's between you and your bedroom. So we'll just leave it there.
What goes on in these doors?
Yeah. Another super chat says Julius Jermaine 499. Just go when JR starts sliding. I don't know what the sliding word is throwing me off. So I don't know if they take that as a compliment or we going to the left. I can't. You guys surprised? Slide not. Jesus. Let's go ahead and move on to the actual topic. Having to work and you pregnant says a lot about your child's father. And I got this from this right. Having to work and you pregnant says a lot about your baby father. The fuck. You guys think it's true? If you are a mother out there and you're working, does that say a lot about the man that you chose? Should you guys be at home not working at all?
Now,
should you guys having a child? Should you be working at all, or should the man be out there getting it and being able to provide for the household while you guys educate and teach the children so that they're not being taught by everyone else? Let's go ahead and dive into it. Go ahead, Simply.
Okay.
Go ahead. Simply was going first. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it does. The number one thing, it depends on what she does for work. Now I will say that if she has like a low maintenance, very easy, like a career field that she loves, like I love my career field. So for me, if I got pregnant, I wouldn't be upset working. But like if you're, let's say like a nurse, even beauticians, so you're on your feet. Stress is the number one thing that leads to high risk pregnancies or complications later on in a woman's pregnancy. And so if your man is not like recognizing or paying attention to like, you know, there's phases of pregnancy. And then some women like get really, really sick when they're pregnant too. So like your body just goes through so many changes. I feel like 9 months compared to a healthy, safe pregnancy and delivery, for you not working for those 9 months, that's not a huge sacrifice for a healthy baby. And it does say a lot about the father of your like children and whether he wants you to be in your feminine energy and remain like, you know, like soft and not be stressed out and not have a lot going on. Like that says a lot about a man.
All right. Can I say something?
Sure can.
Hank, which way you think I'm going? Real quick. Which way you think?
No, baby.
You already know. Okay. So the way
put your big boy girl pants on.
What? Because my thing is, if you can work. You know, it's healthy for you. You're moving around. You're not being, you know, if there's nothing wrong with the pregnancy, if you're having a healthy pregnancy, why not work? Why not? There's no need to be sitting at the house all day trying to clean and all this stuff. Work until they say you can come out. You know, I for one, and this is what Mike said, you're so rough, but I for one, I worked when I was pregnant. With my second daughter, I couldn't work past 4 months because I kept going into premature labor, and that was understandable. But for me, I just say, you know, work because you're pregnant and you got to sit at home. That's just me. Nothing against feminine. I'm not even saying that correctly, but I'm just old school in that sense, you know. So yeah, and I do believe in equal rights and all this stuff, and I believe in femininity and all that, but I just feel like if you can work. 2 incomes is better than one.
Okay.
You
I think it
surprised
all
me?
depends on what the man values in his woman.
I'm proud of you, Miss Veronica.
So I think it all depends on what a man value in his woman. He values woman to be beautiful all the time, health, fitness. You know, he value her mental health, all that stuff. Then she shouldn't be working, especially when she had a child, because I think it plays a toll on them. Insecurities, anxiety, depression increases and stuff. They don't feel beautiful, stuff like that. But they got to go and put 8 to 16 hours in, or 40 hours a week or whatever, and then they can't really maintain what they feel like, you know, they value as far as their beauty and health and fitness. So I mean, it all depends on what he values. I mean, I consider her feelings and how she feels, you know what I'm saying, how she look. And I know a lot of women insecurities increase whenever they don't look like they, how they don't feel like they're beautiful. So
Well, you know, that even happens after you have the baby. They go through the postpartum depression. That plays a part too, and your emotions are all over the place. I don't think just sitting in the home is gonna make it any better.
well, I mean, you wouldn't be just sitting at home. I mean, you would be taking care of the child, and then
Oh
you
my
have
God,
time to do other things like, you know, keep yourself up, maintain that look that, you know what I'm saying, that
one
you
to the
want to,
spa.
you know,
I like
you can
that.
look your best, you can be at your best, and you don't have to be a slave to the 9 to 5. So
Mhm.
Yeah, but
it's all about what the man I mean, if a man has a plan for you and it's ironed out right, you know what I'm saying, you should be able to, you know, do what you want to do, and he should be able to carry the load. But you got a lot of brothers that don't have that. They don't have those circumstances for their significant other. So
I ain't
That's
gonna
to each
so
find
his
that.
now
own
we're
on that. You
talking
know what I'm
about
saying? Me personally, you know what I'm saying. I know what I value in a woman, and I know how I want her to look, and I know, you know, the things that how I want to. You know, I try to support how she feels and stuff. So if I know that work could play a toll on her, especially having a child, then I'm to try to work. I'm trying to build myself up to where I can eliminate that from her, because then I know women become delusional. You know what I'm saying? Whenever they're not looking apart and they try to mask an insecurity, and then that just create a lot of issues in the relationship.
yeah, but
I
I
feel
think
like
he's
the
talking
tone.
about
I feel like the tone. Go ahead,
pre-pregnancy.
Hank.
I don't
Go
think they
ahead,
talking
Hank.
about after having a baby, though, Bruiser. This is while they, you know, pre
pregnant.
get her pregnant.
Pregnant,
So
having a baby, you know, I mean, it's all the same to me.
okay.
I'm seeing people in the chat saying that a woman should be active. Active doesn't have to necessarily mean working, right? So it's like you're doing activities at your leisure. You don't have that extra stress you got to deal with when it comes to work. So you can still go bike riding. You still go to the gym. You can still travel and you can still do the long walks or something like that on the island. You know, just there's things that you guys can do to stay active. It doesn't have to be the 9 to 5, which I think is what he and
Yeah,
some folks
because
are saying.
I know my wife very well, and whenever she got pregnant, you know, I made sure she was, you know, in the gym. You know what I'm saying? I even went to the gym with her, because I know once she lose it and once she get to a certain shape or whatever, she gonna really be upset. You know what I'm saying? It kind of plays a toll on her emotions, and then her emotions get like that, then it cause, you know, tension between us. So, you know, me being able to see this in the head, you know, I can get in front of it and be like, okay, I know I don't want to deal with that shit. So here, this is what we gonna do, you know.
Okay. And I get it. And you're
Yeah,
saying,
but
well, it's
we
like
got
you would go with how she feel, right? If she still wanted to work, you would be okay with that.
I mean, I would be okay with it, but I would make it to the point where it wouldn't be necessary. So she would just have to make a decision
Yeah.
to on her own to do stuff
Yeah.
that's unnecessary with
I
her
like that
time. You know what I'm
answer.
saying? I feel like whenever you want a woman to submit to you, you know what I'm saying? It's all about being able to give her, you know, giving her the ability to use her time any way she want without any constraints. If you can do that for a woman, then you shouldn't have no problem with a woman being submissive to you. So that also plays a part in why, you know, my decision making and my mindset on this.
but Bruce, you
Just
got
giving her
women
that freedom with her time does a lot for you, man. A lot of people
but
don't know
Bruce,
that because they're not able to do that. But if you're able to do that, then you're gonna see the fruit is really good.
you got a lot of women who don't have to do all those things and they still don't want to submit. But that's a different story. But let me talk on this about women being pregnant and working. I mean, look, I know a lot of y'all guys are 6 figure and y'all can afford to have y'all women sit at home and
Hey, speak for yourself, Hank.
Oh, you
I,
just hit the lottery.
yeah, you ain't lying. We heard about that, JR. But still, not everybody has those options, those opportunities. I'm talking about them blue collar type dudes. They can't afford if they're married. You know, they can't afford for their wife to sit at home and not work and bring in some sort of income. Now, we got the good thing about it. They have, if you have a good job and they have good benefits, you have maternity leave. So you're still getting a portion of your salary, you know, and then they have also some who work from home and they may not have to go to actually the workplace. They can do that. They could continue to still be active and do all these things, like you said, exercise, do other things at home and still maintain, but just not really stressed from their jobs. It depended on their work. You know what I'm saying? When my daughter was born, her mother worked in a department store, a clothing department store at the time. So it wasn't nothing like it was stress. Now, you had a few customers coming her that was assholes and all of that, but it wasn't like it was a high stress. And she went all the way up to 7 months before, you know, she just couldn't do it anymore. And so, I was okay with that. You know, even though we wasn't married, I was still sending my scholarship checks home to her and make sure I could help out wherever I can. But, you know, that's just what I had to do. I don't know if that really showed less on the father because you don't know their situation, their financial situation, their living situation. You never know. So I wouldn't put all that pressure on him like that because of
did you and
like
your
that.
wife talk before you guys had your child? Like, did y'all sit down and like? I feel like
not my daughter.
There's
not my daughter. I had my daughter. I was a sophomore in college, so
yeah.
no, it was no conversation. It was, you know, we had our fun, and you know, I wanted to go for a second round, and I didn't have another
kids right now
raincoat, and it happened. I felt like my pull-up game was right, but it wasn't.
But y'all have more kids now, right?
You said what?
Y'all have more kids now, right?
No, not with my daughter's mother. I didn't. Now with my ex-wife, we had our son. Now that my son was playing, so my son we was good.
Yeah,
you know,
and
so
it was
that
totally
was all good,
right?
That was totally different situation. She worked all the way up to about 3 months. She was 3 months, and then she just felt like her feet were swelling up. She no longer want to work, and I was cool. I was able to maintain the situation and take care of the home. I was able to do it.
But she had that option, though, right?
Yes, she had a good job. She had maternity leave, but even my income offset it, so it didn't matter. We didn't miss a beat. But I was blessed with a job by then. I had my degree and all of that. I was blessed with a different type job. But at first, I couldn't do it because I was a college student, you know, having a child with my daughter. So not everybody was in my situation, my second situation. Most people are more likely in my first situation, where they can't really afford to do those type of things. So
can I interrupt real quick? I could say the reason why I said the things I said because you know I was fortunate enough to grow up around not only, you know, family members but people outside of my family that made, you know, horrible decisions whenever it came to having children and you know, fucked up relationships. So I was able to see that as a lesson, you know what I'm saying, that I didn't have to actually execute, you know what I'm saying? I was seeing it being executed, you know, outside my own self. So me being able to see that, you know, when I got married in 2016, you know, to my wife, you know, we had a conversation sort of like what I think Simply just said. We had these conversations because, I mean, I came from a rough place, man, and I didn't want to repeat it, even though I had family members saying, hey, look, man, there's no way, right or wrong time to have a child. There's no right way to do it. And I said, well, damn, I feel like that's a challenge for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to see if I can do it my way. You know what I mean? I could give a damn what anybody thinks. So I did it my way. And then that's why I'm able to speak the way I speak. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I understand everybody ain't gonna be able to do it, but I feel like if you actually just look around and see how fucked up, you know, the community is and how repetitive the bullshit is whenever people have children, you know, out of wedlock and in circumstances where they can't take a kid. I think it's being done enough to be able to dawn in on us like, hey, look, we probably want to do this a different way. And if we do it a different way, the circumstances may be different. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's going to be this difference, there's a guarantee, but the chances that it may be different was all I needed. That's all the motivation I needed, and I was able to do it. So I had my child this year in April, my first and only child. You know what I'm saying? I made sure she was out of work. You know what I'm saying? Before we had, she got pregnant and all that stuff. I just was able to look ahead and be like, okay, I seen what my sister has a child that I'm actually, you know, adopted in September. You know, he's 16 years old, transferred because she became unfit and lost her right. I'm able to see all this stuff, man. And I'm like, look, I don't want to go through this. I don't want my children to go through this. So I'm gonna try to do this the right way. And if I can't do it the right way, I'm just not gonna have any children.
Hats off to you. That's commendable. That's
All right,
good.
anyone else want to chime in? I haven't.
I mean, I'll just say, I think that when it relates to the question, I think it's more positive when the woman doesn't have to work when she's pregnant or doesn't have to work immediately after childbirth. But the expectation really should be more in line with reality. And that's that a lot of women are going to have to work, and they are going to have to work, you know, maybe 6 weeks after they have their child. You know, I don't think that maternity leave in a lot of places are as good as it should be compared to other countries and whatnot. And I'm sure, without even looking at the statistics, I'm sure it's like less than 20% of households of married couples have like a stay-at-home parent. So the idea that, you know, there should be some kind of expectation that a lot of women really shouldn't have to work after like 2-3 months of pregnancy, that would be great, and it'd probably make for a better society, but that's not really in line with reality. I know that, you know, my experience was kind of similar to Hink. You know, my children were both unplanned children. You know, I thought my pullout game was good, and it just, I guess it wasn't good them couple nights. And, you know, and it just kind of happened that way. My wife has a certain career where, you know, at the time I wouldn't have been able to support an entire household just off my income, let her sit at home for, you know, I think it would have been 9 months. I think she stopped working at 7.5 months and didn't go back till I want to say 3 months, like a month or two after the baby was born, something like that. Now, one of my children was born in the summer, so we had the summertime to really get our things together. And I had a really solid support system. You know, I had my parents, I had her parents, we had family members that were around, we had neighbors that were around. So we kind of had a village that could raise our children. But would I have been able to support the household after about 4 months without my wife working? Probably not, you know? And so I don't think that that's a negative towards me. I just have that much more admiration for the men who can do it. And so I think that those men really need to be, you know, highlighted more versus us wagging a finger at the average man who probably can't do that. You know, somebody who's a plumber, get their wife pregnant, they're not going to be able to support an entire household unless they're 15, 20 years.
You'd be surprised about the plumber, Cal.
I mean, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? If you're in the early stages of your life, you're probably not making $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 as a 25-year-old plumber. You know what I mean? If you mess around and get your girl pregnant at a young age, you just, you know, the being practical about it, you're more than likely not going to be able to support a whole household. Now, if you guys got an apartment or something like that, then maybe. But if you guys are living the whole, you know, marriage lifestyle, you ain't got married, then you ain't got a house, and now your girl goes and gets pregnant and she not working, well, that's going to all fall on you at a young age. I mean, that's asking a lot. And the statistics show that's not really even what's going on out here. It's the opposite. So
I think they need to work on that pullout game, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you know what?
You gonna teach them how to use the pullout game better?
Well, I want
to pullout game, bro, is on point. You know what?
I'm just messing.
I'm pretty.
I got how-to books for you, Cal. Don't worry about it.
I do want to ask a question. So, like, would you say that if y'all had a baby now, that she wouldn't have to work?
No, she wouldn't have to work. No. But that would be something that we would plan. That would be something that we would strategize for, that I would budget for. You know, I know better. So I know what the bills are going to look like from the hospital. I know everything. So I'll be able to have a much better idea of it versus when I was first going through it. I saw, was it Malevolent Elephant? Said we just be busting nuts and hoping for the best. That was exactly how my two children came into this world. You know, busting nut, hope for the best. We both got careers, so we're not going to fall behind or anything like that. But after about 3-4 months, you know, if it's just me, we might have to, you know, it had been some serious budgeting going on. And I think that's a lot of households, you know, I shouldn't feel embarrassed to say that. That's how it was. You know what I mean? The economy and everything else was as such, where I'm not a doctor, you know what I mean? I'm not an engineer. The world can't be full of engineers. So, you know, it didn't necessarily work out that way.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I think in my situation, the reason why I was able to, you know, keep it together, moving through the ages as a young man, is because your parents might have been in my mother and my father. It wasn't there for me when I was a kid. I was raised by my auntie, and when I was young, I would cry for my parents. So I think I just appreciated it at a young age, I appreciated the situation I was in, and it just gave me this motivation. It's like, I'm just not going to do that. And I think we as young men at a young age, because this is probably where we're making these mistakes. It's not when we get old and wise. It's obviously when we really don't know no better. But I think we don't really understand it and appreciate
100%.
it, you know. So the ones who do appreciate it and understand it, I would consider them lucky. You know, I would say I'm lucky that I was able to appreciate the bullshit I was in. Because some kids, young men think that's normal. You know, that's normal. You know, they don't know that it's supposed to be a better upbringing or parenting. Because I've actually had that situation where I walked in other people's houses and I was like, what? Other kids' houses, you know, when I was a young man, and you know, you got to go in the refrigerator whenever you wanted to and shit like that. And you couldn't do that at my house. You know what I'm saying? You had to wait till it was time to eat, and then you couldn't go in the refrigerator. They had to go in there. There's just so many of us, you know, you raid in the refrigerator, all the food's gone. So I think it's all about appreciating these things as a young man. And then whenever you start to put these things in, you start to make these decisions, you're like, oh shit, I seen what I don't want to go through that shit. So let me go ahead and move a different way. So.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree with you on that front. Yeah, it's definitely about the experience. I mean, I probably took my circle and network for granted in that same emotion. You know, my parents were still young enough to be able to care for them when we were at work. My neighbor was a former daycare owner, so she had a lot of experience with raising children. So we kind of left our kids with her when we were working, and they were 2-3 years old. So, you know, I feel like if I didn't have those resources, I probably would have had a much different experience during those years. So
conversations when you're dating too are really important. Like, I think a lot of people have been talking about the vetting process. This shit is uncomfortable, but like, you have to ask that. Like, I ask, how do you feel when you're the mother of your child? And I think social media does play a part also, and why a lot of these conversations come up really soon in dating now versus like back then. But I ask, like, if I were to get pregnant with your child on accident, if it happened, what is your plan? What would you do? Do you believe in abortion? Are you financially able to take care of a child right now? You have to ask those conversations. Like, what is your plan for your family? It may not be me, it may be another woman, but like, as of right now, as a man, what are your plans if you were to have a family? And I think people don't ask those questions when they're like dating. Like, it's uncomfortable as hell, and especially if the guy is not there for the right intention. But like, you have to ask that.
Hey,
And
ladies,
what is the
if you don't
response?
mind me asking, do y'all feel like if y'all feel like y'all be wanting to ask men that, but you feel like it might run them off, or because he might seem like, oh, you already asking about kids and shit? Do y'all feel like y'all want to ask that, but for something stopping you from asking them that?
Nothing stops me. I ask what I want to ask.
Right.
No, that's Shantae.
And I just feel like I was blessed in my situation. In my situation, when I had just graduated from college, me and him graduated at the same time. We met in college, so we graduated at the same time and everything. And he ended up going to the military. So I ended up teaching back in my hometown. So I taught at the same high school that I went to. So everybody knew me. You know, I was spoiled. I ain't gonna lie. My daddy spoiled me when my kid's father went to basic training. I think he went to basic training, and I didn't have any problems with none of my pregnancies. I worked. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I did work all the way up to like 7 months. And my dad, I ain't gonna never forget that day. My first baby, my dad went up to that school and said, my baby, because I was in special education and I had to restrain students. So at a certain time, like, it got kind of hard for me to handle those students that was, ADHD, autism, and things like that. So it became really stressful. So
yeah, them kids, they're strong.
Yeah,
I know a lady to work out just so she can work them kids over.
Yeah. We had to put them kids.
And then when the parents come up, the staff had to be all on the same accord.
I mean, I think I was the only teacher. Like, the students used to love me. I used to come with Jordans on because I had to run. Sometimes I had to run out the kids. Like,
hey, my wife is an assistant principal.
She talk about them holds all the time. Look at that door. You like, don't you do it? Go out there you want to. The minute you realize it, take off. Security.
Yes, sir.
I do have a question for Indy. Excuse me, Andy. What is some of the responses that you get when, or either Mona and Mommy Love? What are some of the responses you get from the guys when you all ask these questions? Like, what is your plan if we was to get pregnant together? You know what I mean? Like, what are their responses?
I think that some of them kind of get a little bit like uncomfortable, like, whoa, like, hey, like this is a third date, like, you know, like you're asking this, like that's kind of like, but I'm like, look, like if you're dating with intention, you're really dating with intention, or you're in a relationship with the intent to really marry this person. And that's where I'm at in my journey. I can't speak for anybody else, but if a man is not asking me those same questions back, I don't even want to deal with them.
Come
Like,
on.
that guy should be able to ask the questions too. Like, I think that guy should be able to ask, like, hey, like, what kind of mother are you? What, you know, how do you feel about being a mother? How do you feel about if I told you I don't want you to work, or you need to, like, I dated a young man like a while back, and one of the first questions he asked me was, y'all know I'm in engineering school. He's like, would you leave your engineering career and be a mother or work for my real estate business? And I was like, you know,
but you can I make, first of all, I make more than I do in engineering.
But you have to ask those questions, because a lot of the time what ends up happening is you get in those situations and then shit just hits the fan and there's shit everywhere. And you're just like, oh my gosh, had I vetted better, had I asked these, it's uncomfortable for 5 minutes over. Now you're in a lifetime situation with somebody who now you're stuck with them. Now you have to deal with these consequences. Ask the damn uncomfortable question. It's just like an interview. You might not be comfortable being like, how much do y'all pay? There's a nice way, a couth way to ask the things that you want to ask, but still ask them.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on. You guys just tuning in.
Can
Welcome
I answer
to.
the question because I didn't get an opportunity?
I am so sorry, Miss Shan Monet. Yeah, we got a true diva.
Wait my turn.
Yeah.
Hello.
Go ahead. The floor is all yours. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I had the opportunity. JR, really? Can you please?
Oh, there you go. There you go. Spotlight.
Enjoy the moment.
Okay, so I had an opportunity to experience both when I had my son, because my kids are 14 years apart. When I had my son, his dad was, you know, he had a plan. He was in his career. He was trying to, you know, so I had to do a lot of the, I brought in the income. That's what I'm trying to say. And so fortunately, I worked for an investment firm that was very flexible. But I remember working into the last day. I went in labor like after work. So it didn't bother me. Yeah, I did. But I was 24. Fast forward 14 years later, my daughter's father gave me an option. But even then, I decided to work until a week prior to having her, because I like to be active. I was that person who was not health conscious, but I wanted to make sure my body was going to be right once I popped her out. So that was important to me, but I was high risk as far as age, but I wasn't high risk as far as, you know, if I'm overactive, because there are women who are high risk and they have to sit back and relax. You just have to know your body and your pregnancy. So for me, that wasn't my issue. So I didn't mind working up until the last minute to have my kid. I would say third trimester is like the questionable moment, but other than that, you know, I don't see a problem with women working during pregnancy. Now, after pregnancy, once the baby is born, that's totally different. But during pregnancy, I don't see an issue.
I'm just trying to figure out if at some point in time are men ever at high risk for anything.
Well, well, you know what? Do you guys
that's stress.
Colon cancer, man.
So let me ask you guys a question.
I was trying to be funny.
Do you
guys, brother? Come on now. It's too
when
early.
you guys meet women, do you ask the hard questions, or you just looking at the beauty and the? I mean, what do you all look for when you're dating? I know. Am I pronouncing your name correctly, Bruiser?
Yes.
Bruiser. Kyle, you all are married, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Lapeef and Hank, what do you all ask when you're all dating women? Like,
the
you
whole
all think that they're coming for you for your money, your assets,
you know,
or
do you floss? I think that's a good.
The whole point is for me is
I think that's you got to talk to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
they ain't flossing, I'm almost certain that it's going to be some funk laying around up in there.
If I'm gonna be honest, it's all about finessing. You know,
When you
trying to get
flake
the
that
block.
one piece of food that's been stuck in there for a week, it comes with an odor. You guys know you can smell inside the mouth, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime, yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this one, but
I was saying, anytime you can smell the odor in the mouth, it's a no go. What?
yeah. If you floss, if you're a regular flosser,
Right.
then the foods that you
It has an
I mean,
odor.
between your teeth, it has an odor to it. So I think one of the important questions is it says a lot about hygiene is do you floss? Because if they don't floss, then what else you think they just skipping past?
Okay.
Dang.
All right.
So I think that's an important. Hey, you just asked the question. You said, "What question do you ask?" One of my
Yes,
questions.
right,
Go ahead,
right.
Cal. What's one of the questions? Not Cal. Hank. What's one of the questions you asked? And you come back to me. You know, she's trying to put the pressure on me. She had my back.
Well, I'm 47, so I'm not asking nothing about pregnancy anymore because I'm fixed. I got a vasectomy, so ain't nothing coming through the shaft anymore. So my time is come and gone. But one of the questions I ask is, can you get on the one pot program?
Who? You said one who?
One pot.
One pot.
One pot?
He's talking about cooking, man. You on that? You on that?
No. Sorry.
You talking about money,
right?
But like,
about money, baby.
Well, I was talking about Jeezy cooking, Jeezy type cooking. That's what I was.
But like Indy said, like
I like that. Don't do that.
Okay.
Like Indy said, like I feel like men should ask
Rick
more
Ross, man.
I really
Real
feel like
Rick Ross.
ask more questions. I feel like on dates, men should really start to ask like more
She was
questions.
asking
women
me,
being
mommy.
honest.
Mommy, she was asking
women even being
the men.
honest in some of these situations. Y'all be telling
Hold on,
lies.
hold on, Cal. Mommy, she was asking the men.
Too. Like, come on, let's keep it real. I'll be lying.
how are you able to talk with a mute?
I think he was going somewhere. He was talking about the pot. He didn't go ahead and finish. You was rudely interrupted. Go ahead.
Well, that's the question I ask about. I usually ask about one pot, and are they willing to do that, open to do that? And if they're not, you know, that can definitely be a hindrance for me, and as far as a relationship with a woman, because I need to know. Like I said, about a third date, I'm gonna know your credit score and everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
so that's all got to be ran in.
And I'm gonna go ahead and end it on this one so we can move on to the next topic. One of the most important questions that I've learned just having these conversations is, what's the relationship that you have with your father? I think that's
Can y'all hear me?
important. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
So I think it's important because if the father wasn't there, then is there any man that you respected, that you looked up to? So I think that's a very important question. And I know it's a lot of households that don't have fathers, but I think it comes with some baggage there, and it's going to be a long road if that's the case. So we're going to go ahead and move on. If you guys just tuning in, welcome to LAPEEF-ING Sundays. Make sure you get the likes up. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the sponsor, Tiege Hanley, Feel Tiege, uncomplicated skincare for men. I heard it works for women too. So if you got that tough skin, feel free to go ahead and Feel Tiege as well. Tiege does not discriminate. They welcome all signs of smooth skin, rough skin, tough skin, relaxed skin, skin of all walks of life. Feel Tiege. All right. Mommy 3 Love, can you get out your phone, please?
Man, Veronica be keeping them lips lubricated, baby. I see you, girl. Take you off something.
Yes, I know that's right. Miss Veronica.
Yeah. I mean, well, at least she does it. I know some people who lips just be dry as hell and they don't even realize their lips. How can you walk around and not realize how dry your lips? You don't see it
On the lips.
Hey,
You don't
feel it?
feel it?
Like,
You can
Yeah,
feel
I'm peeling like a damn it's like an orange. You know how orange look when you peel off the cuties, the orange. That's how they lips look. And they walk around like they're like, yeah. Close your mouth, because when you have your mouth halfway open like that, just crack a little bit. You breathing all on it, so you drying out even more. And then once it starts to come fall or winter, you just got to be conscious. This is the stuff I'm talking about. You got to be conscious of what's going on with your body, outside and inside.
yeah, that's true.
So floss, keep those lips lubricated, men and women. Because I mean, I'm sorry, man. We got a lot of work to do, man. Shout out to KS. With that being said, let's go ahead and keep it moving. We did have some super chats that come through. Y'all being light on the super chats, man, today. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't ask for much, but damn, this shit is pitiful on a Sunday. I got to be like the pastor and just have 2 or 3 offerings throughout the service. Huh? Harrison Davis, $4.99. I'm funny today, right? Yeah, kudos to me.
You hold your own.
I know, shit. What, they raised the roof? Y'all still do that shit, or is that before y'all time? I see we got some young folks on the panel. That's before y'all time.
I think that's after y'all.
You don't do that no more? Who set this motherfucker on fire? We don't know.
That's me and he. The roof is on fire. We don't need no water.
Okay. You sing that song, we'll be here all day because that's the slow version. Harrison Davidson, $4.99 as a member, says eating behind quarters like groceries is grounds for divorce. Okay. Kelly Convos, $4.99 says some of y'all men on the panel have tried it. Men?
Kelly knows
What she say?
Try what?
She said some of the men on the panel has tried the
salad toss.
Yeah, there you go.
No.
Yeah. I mean, typically it's the ones that put their head down, but I'm pretty sure everybody had their head up. Yeah, they don't want to get called on. Like, oh shit, it's getting a little home there. Story to tell, $20 said if she had a good job use that maternity leave, use all that paid bonding leave, get all those benefits, then we can discuss
sabbatical. I
was getting there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
With the process at first. My mind worked a little slower than yours, Veronica. You always on let's go. No, ain't that time. It's Sunday. It's too early. Say that word again.
Veronica saw you was about to trip over that, bro.
I know. Say it again. Say it again.
That's all that is.
Say it again for me.
Oh, sabbatical.
Sabbatical. There we go. Leave if we can afford it. I appreciate that. Oh shit. Oh. 500 ball. Appreciate you. I do that tease dance. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. He said 500 going once, going twice. Who gonna top that? I don't think nobody can top that.
Melvin. I can't even talk.
Hold on.
Malevolent.
Hey, Kelly came right in after that comment, boy.
Right, Kelly said malevolent.
Kelly, like, thank you.
Right.
Malevolent.
Yeah, say it 3 times fast.
Malevolent.
Okay, say it 7 times fast.
Malevolent.
That's not fast.
You came up one short.
I got it. 500.
I just noticed the shit in the chat. Some All for Peace says, JR, I seen you pod on Purple Pill. That was actually one of the shows that I did put together. Them chicks make the show look bad. I don't think so, man. I mean, one thing that you have to appreciate about live shows, you never know what you're going to get. That would be a different story if you put together a whole movie production and the actors were bad and you just rolled it out knowing that they acted bad. But some things you just have no control over. And then sometimes there are some lessons that's being taught when things are happening in the moment. So sometimes you got to let them teachings happen. You can't interrupt it. So, part of my role is not to censor anybody, but sometimes there's a lot of things happening simultaneously within that situation, and you just got to let it play out the way it's going to play out. Sometimes people need that hard lesson.
That
and the truth need to be spoken. Imagine if
I gotta go back and see it.
Imagine if I stopped the show and a lesson wasn't taught. Then what do we have? You guys talk about helping the community. Helping the community is holding people accountable sometimes, putting the fire to their ass. You got to appreciate these moments. So All for Peace, I disagree.
You gotta watch it. Like it was. I feel like it was good. It was like really a teaching moment. Like it was. That was a show that I would never forget. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was, but it was good. It really was.
Yeah, I think it was a good episode. Actually, it's a clip rolling out this evening, so make sure you guys check out the clip. And I'm not sure if he's talking about the entire show. I'm thinking he's talking about that one particular part, but stay tuned. It's going to be rolled out. It's already queued up to roll out this afternoon. So if you missed it, make sure you guys hit the notification off so you don't miss that one. All for Peace said it was good. Yeah, it was good. You know what? One thing that I did learn, because it was the first live stream that I did in person outside of the LAPEEF experience, is I see some room for improvement. So when you roll things out and the time and everything, it was all rushed, and I ain't had time to settle down. I had to throw up the thumbnail, throw up everything. Didn't nobody even know it was even happening. So, and I take ownership of that. But next time we do it, which won't be this Wednesday, it'll be the Wednesday after next, I envision it's going to be something special. So, we put a lot of hard work into it. So.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on that. But I ain't gonna lie, it really made Hink, everything Hink say be right, because it's like that show really made me really realize that, like, most black, not all, but most black women just don't know how to hold their self together in most situations. And me being in IT and me working with all those other mayonnaise people, it really
Now we're not gonna do.
Well, I mean,
we're not gonna call these men.
I didn't want to say the word. I didn't want to say that word.
But that's offensive. Just say other people's from all walks of life.
Other people. But it really made me realize, like, honestly, what I have been doing is right. Holding yourself together, taking things, knowing how to respond to things, and it really made me realize, like, man, us black women we have a lot of work to do. We really do. We have a lot of work to do.
I know that Kelly Combo said nope, that's the day before Thanksgiving. So what you guys know is that here on the Lapeef Network, we don't stop working. So there will be a live stream on Thursday. Mommy 3 Love, I expect to see you there.
I will.
Okay, yeah, that's how we roll. I don't think we ever missed a holiday. So
Monty, you ain't cooking? You ain't cooking that day?
Yeah,
it's in the evening. Al, you could cook during the day. They cook during everybody else during the day.
I don't eat. My family don't eat till like 5:30, 6 o'clock, something like that. They don't eat.
Okay, I got a couple more super chats. Let's go ahead and push through, y'all. Let's go ahead and push through. Stephanie Xtina. Did I say that correctly? Or am I saying that wrong, folks? See, y'all like to shame people. That's how I see it, as Xtina.
Xtina, I see it.
Okay, I'll make sure y'all seeing the same thing I'm seeing. $5. Love seeing Shay Chamonix on Sunday panel. Team Chic Critique.
Yeah.
Also, Indie Fit Sunday panel very well. We are able to hear her point of view. So
we'll be back Friday, you guys, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, there you go. Chic Critique coming back. A story to tell. $20. Hink, is that Minnie Riperton in the background?
Yes, it is, Big J. Yes, it is.
Okay, so we got some. Man, let's go ahead and keep it moving. We're almost to the meat, y'all. We know the ladies like the meat. Let's go ahead and push through this. Should you go to parties with women you just met if invited?
She invite you to that party?
Yeah, she invited me. Yeah, I brought my homie with me. Y'all. I was like, yo, dog, like, I need you as a co-pilot here.
Listen, this is something I learned the hard way, bro. Mm-hmm. And you meet a woman, and you just start talking to her, and she invites you to a party. Do not go to that motherfucker, bro. Do not go. It's trouble waiting. She's more than likely and I learned this the hard way. And I heard somebody else say it, and I ain't believe him, and I did it anyway. Two things is either happening. She either trying to make somebody jealous, that's either there, or she gonna post it on Instagram or some shit like that, or you ain't the only person she invited. And what women do is they have little contests with their homegirls, and they just invite all the niggas they know, and so all y'all get there, and all y'all sweating them and shit like that. It's like a little fucking, like a attention ego thing to them. You see what I'm saying? So they can show off to their homegirls about how many niggas came and sweating them and shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So don't go to parties with women you first meet, bro.
Yeah.
It can be very dangerous, or you're gonna waste your time. Now let me ask you a question. Did you hear Shorty?
Nah, like, yo,
exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, like,
exactly. Here's the wild part. Yo, here's the wild part, right? So, like, this Shorty, right? She's
Well, interesting perspective. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on it. Should you go to parties with women you just met if invited? Let me start with the men. Go ahead, Bruiser.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I mean, I'm not gonna be sweating the same joint though. I mean, if I just met her, I don't have any obligation to her or no commitment to her. So she invite me around a whole bunch of other women. I'm gonna just be shooting my shot at the women that ain't really getting no attention. I mean, I know most of the best looking women in the building is probably gonna be getting most of the attention, but I be finding other things attractive about women that A lot of guys don't. So I think I do well. So yeah, I don't agree with dude. That's an insecurity thing on a man's head. You get invited, fuck it, just pull up. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be fixated on the person that invited you.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what? If she would invite you around her other female friends, shit, go at them.
Yeah, you know what? I was in a situation like that where I was invited to a party and everybody that I think she went to high school with was there and something like that. You still go. You know, you still go because when you walk into a room, I mean, you are the party. You know, so whenever you walk into that room, it's like, hey, I can navigate through any situation, any scenario. I think towards the end, I think towards the end of the day, she was just like, you know, you ain't even. Every time I look around, I'm over looking for you. I don't even see you. I see you conversating with people. I said, what you expect? If you're conversating with the people you know, I don't know none of these people, right? I may speak and say what's up, but if I see you walk away from me, I'm gonna go mingle. I'm not about to come run up behind you and chase you. You know, it's because I know how to exist in environments where I don't have to have somebody necessary with me. You know, you'd be surprised if you just go have a drink, and even if you navigate the room solo, how attractive that is to men and women, right? So I haven't been in a situation where I just get up and I just go have a drink. I do go sit at the table by myself and eat because it's something that I want to do, regardless if a person was there or not. I haven't went to the movies by myself. I'm not a movie head, but I don't see nothing. I don't see me doing that because I just don't fuck with movies like that. You know what I'm saying? I will go to the movies, but I'm not a movie head to go sit there. But I think it says a lot about who you are as a person, being able to navigate, and just because you can see a lot more things if you don't have somebody across from you every single time on the side of you. You see the world differently. You can see how people interact. Sometimes you can just go out and you can think of topics just about going out by yourself. So I think it is an insecurity, like Bruiser said. I think that it shouldn't matter. You just kind of, because you don't know what's going to happen. You can go there and things may play into your favor. It may not be like that. You just assuming. And who gives a fuck what she got going on? If you that guy, none of those other people are going to matter. And I've always say that, like, if you the prize, if you got a lot of things going on, she's going to naturally gravitate to you without you having even to say anything. Because in her eyes, you that guy. It don't matter if he got all the money, no matter that. Sometimes people got money, they ain't got no swag. They don't know how to talk to the women. They don't know how to have fun. They don't even have a conversation. They just lead with other things. But if you well-rounded and you doing good for yourself, you got your own shit, you know, you growing, or maybe you might be in your bag. Women notice that. And that confidence. They notice that confidence too. So that's my thoughts about it. Go ahead, Cal.
I mean, I kind of agree with you on that, JR, as far as like navigating places by yourself and like, you know, just being in your own confidence. But I feel like it depends on the party. I'm with you guys on going to maybe a real party, but I used to have a strictly no after party kind of attitude. And if I'm by myself, let's say, I was invited one time to an after party by myself, and I nearly got robbed in there. I feel like she was trying to set dudes up to get robbed. So when it comes to like inviting a bunch of dudes over and seeing how things go, it just felt like it was her friend, and like 8 dudes and me. And I came by myself and I didn't know none of these dudes. So the emotion kind of felt like, okay, this is a dangerous situation. But if it's like a real party, you know, you with your homeboys or something like that, I might go, you know, to a party that I just, you know, or I'm taking my friends to a party with a chick I just met. I might do that. But it'd be tough for me to go to a party by myself with a woman I just met and I don't know the people throwing the party. That's you know, that's a level of solitude, I guess I just haven't gotten to yet, where I'm a walk around straight solo. I don't even know the people throwing the party, and I barely know the chick who invited me. That might be a lot for me to deal with. But me and a group of homies going somewhere I might know, like I know the location, I just don't know the people. Okay, cool. I might be able to do that. But if I'm just going to somewhere brand new by myself, I don't know. I might have to hit the waist a little harder.
Before you go, I'm gonna tell you this story because it made me think when I was younger, right? And I'm glad this played out perfectly fine. But I was messing with this chick, and she invited me to like a little house party, and I wasn't gonna know nobody that was in there. So at the time, Was I might have been in high school, maybe early on college or something like that. But I went to my man's and I'm like, hey, I need your strap. I need your strap. So, and that was the first time that I actually, carried in my waist. And so it might not have been the right and proper thing to do, man. But I didn't know nobody, and it was in a location I knew what time it was. So I went back, got my man, hey, I need this. I'm about to go here, and I should have had that motherfucker on me. So I'm not advising anybody to do that, but it just made me think about how, like, shit, if some shit pop off, I'm glad it didn't, because then I would have put myself in a situation, because I
But see, but it's a
that.
woman's invite that'll get you in that situation. You know what I mean? You might
Yeah,
meet somebody, you say, oh, let's go to this party. Me and my friend's gonna be there. You show up all confident, you know what I mean? And then if you don't have that stripe, you go around and get jumped.
Yeah, but if you're in an open spot, like the spot that I went to the second time, it was open. It was like open to the public, so it wasn't anything that. This was a house party, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to go, because I'm like, I'm like you, like, I don't know what it is, but I made sure I was prepared, just in case. But it would have been a stupid ass situation, because some shit would have popped off, and then now who's to say why I would have been there right now? But you just got to be careful, man, how you navigate, man. But
I mean, there's too many drill sims out here that got a woman at the center of it, backdooring people. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me say this, man. I would have a problem going to the party like that. I'm going there and my man whore ways are going to be all full-fledged and ready to go. Looking to get with whatever I get with. And
hold on, that's different though, Hank.
I'm just saying. That's what will happen. The instincts will kick in like the spidey senses, baby. I'm telling you. So I will go in there, and if I will find out, walk around the space, find the exit so I know where I need to go if anything jumps left. Find anybody any women who I'm already had interactions with. I will keep them in mind, so just in case I don't get nothing new coming out the party, I'm gonna go some old faithfuls. I don't have a problem with dealing with a retread.
Yeah. I know Malevolence Elephant, and also Kelly was letting me know it's conversing, not conversating. So I'm aware of that. But I used to always say conversating. So
they added conversating to the ghetto dictionary. So right, you're fine. The urban dictionary.
You're right. So when I speak, is what I'm accustomed to, I always say conversating. But when I'm really thinking about it, I do say conversing sometimes too. So my apologies. I'm a work in progress right now. I'm
hey, Beyonce said conversate and get me body. So it's got to be okay, right?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can hold myself accountable, and that is conversing is the correct and proper way to say it. So my apologies, you guys. I know I let you guys down on that one. I wasn't on my scholarly duties, but hey, we move forward, right?
So from a woman's perspective, if I invite a guy that I just met to a party, though, it's only two things for me, anyways. One, I really don't like you, and I want to put you in the friend zone, right? And I know that I'm going to be around other women, my friends. I hang around a lot of certain type of, I might try to push you off on my friend, whatever it might be. And that's my way of getting out of the situation without like having to have that uncomfortable conversation. And that's just real spill. I've done that. So if a female invites you to like a party and she doesn't care about you, if she doesn't care about you talking to other females, 9 times out of 10, that's her way of like dropping the garbage off. Like, let me go ahead and drop him off here.
So you're alley-oop.
Okay. Go ahead.
You ghosting. That's like ghosting.
But then, but it's a no liability. It's a no lie. It's a way of getting out of your contract, right? You might have gone on a date with this guy. This guy feels like you owe him something, whatever it may be. Now I bring you around a room of, because I hang out with a lot of beautiful women, and so it's like I bring you in a room full of beautiful women, and you're giving them other attention. Now it's my way of saying like, okay, well, I thought you were gonna chop it up with a girl, so like, blah blah blah, and there's no fault there. So he's like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying, blah, blah. So now I'm out of the situation, clean break, nobody gets hurt, whatever. The second part is, I really like you. And I want to show you off, bring you around my friends. And then 2, I know I'm going to be in a situation where there might be like other men and I don't want attention from them. I want it from you. So I want you to be the one buying my drinks that night. I want you to be the one that I go home with that night. I want you to be the person that I'm booed up with in the, you know what I mean? So there's only 1 or 2 situations that I've ever invited somebody to, especially like a social event.
So
Yeah, how's a man
one
to know? How's a man to know what your intentions are in that moment? Whether you trying to get him robbed, or you want him to spend some more quality time with you, or you want him to, you trying to find a real easy way to kind of ghost him. Like, how's a man supposed to know what to do?
Well, the guy that you like, that's easy, because leading up to the event, you're gonna be texting him like, "Oh, I can't wait to see you." You're gonna be sending pictures of your outfit. Should I wear this? What are you wearing? Blah 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 blah. There's like a lot of interest there. And then the guy that like you're kind of like ghosting, it's just like, okay, well, are you gonna show up or not? Like, kind of thing. Like, if you show up, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not really as attentive or like as involved with him, but you're still involved enough to where like, okay, here's the address.
And see, and like in my situation, I ain't gonna lie, I have done some childish ass shit like that, but I ain't gonna lie, like in most cases, if I invite a guy to a party, because see, I don't know the timeline that this guy is talking about. I don't know if it's somebody just met or this and that, and then she invites you, but in most cases, if I really like him, I'm not going to invite him to know where my friend's going to be until I know exactly like who he is and what we going to be, something like that. But if I just met him off the real first date and I'm like, hey, we got this party I'm going to invite you to, I'm good at friend zoning a man. I ain't gonna lie. If I'm not feeling him like that, cool people, yeah. If he cool people and I feel like I know somebody that you could be with, I might put him on my friend or somebody that's more compatible, but I'm just gonna put it like this. I'm just telling the truth, because in that video, he was telling the truth. We do stuff like this. So let's answer it in that way. We do shicey stuff like that sometimes. We invite a guy to a party that 9 times out of 10, we trying to make somebody jealous. I'm not gonna lie. I went on a date with a guy because I was trying to make another guy jealous.
Oh, really?
Hell yes, really.
Boy, black man, they don't give a shit about us. They don't give a shit.
I didn't like him in no type of way, and this and that. It was just somebody that, he was just. I ain't gonna lie. Most of the guys that we do like that, they be begging. They be.
Who raised you?
Let me. He keep
Who
coming.
raised you?
Guys do it too. Guys do it too.
Who raised you?
Every day in the DM. I mean,
who raised you?
But JR, you gotta understand, the guys that we do this to,
government
they keep coming in our DM. Every day they in a DM. Good morning, beautiful. Good morning, beautiful. Good morning, beautiful. God damn it. Okay, I'm gonna give you a chance. Let me take you. Let's go on this date. That don't mean we like it.
Mama Tree Love, you gonna throw him a bone?
That don't mean we like him. If we invite him to a party because he keep texting us every damn morning, good morning, beautiful, good morning, beautiful, and we go on a date with him, that don't mean we necessarily like him. It's like, shit, the dude that we got some little problem with, I'm just being real. Dude, we got a little problem with, ain't acting right. Ooh, let me go on this date. Let me upload this plate, this beautiful little date to make the other man jealous. We just do little ignorant, little dumb shit like that.
Look at Sam on there. Oh,
use and abuse.
I'm
Boy, they don't give a
appalled.
shit about us, man.
That's terrible.
Listen,
Not you, Mommy 3. I wouldn't have pegged you to be like that, Mommy 3. Goddamn.
I'm not like that now, but I was just letting you know that what the guy saying in the video is completely true. I'm not gonna sit up there and say that he was wrong. Oh,
So
this man is lying.
Who raised
He's
you?
not lying.
Oh.
Women do this. A lot of women do it. A lot of women that most definitely immature, their 20s, or just got out of a breakup, or they do dumb shit like that. I'm just keeping it real. So what he said in the video, most women do things like that to make a man jealous, or they just, friend zoning a man, just want to invite him because she don't really like him like that, so she gonna try to put him on somebody else. It's just things like that. It's just real life. Sorry.
All right. Go ahead, Sham Monet. Go ahead. Close us out on this one.
I think that's a type of woman who does that. I've never, first of all, I'm not going to waste my time with somebody I'm not interested in. It's for what?
Nope.
You know, if I invite you somewhere, it's because
Thank
I
you.
really want you to come with me. I don't want the night to end. No, I'm not going to go home with you, but we can definitely go to another spot so I can get to know you a little bit better. And if that spot is around my friends, I do want them to vet you a little bit, ask you questions, because I'm like, oh, I kind of like him. And it's good for the guy as well when dealing with the right woman, obviously. But because you get an opportunity to see how she moves, who her friends are, the people she keeps, you know, the parties that she likes to attend, you know, the company that she keeps. So I don't think it's a bad thing. That stuff, but I just heard him say, I don't even know what that is. You know, again, there are levels to this, and there are women who do that, and there are women who do not. You just got to know which one you're dealing with.
But
I think
Shantae,
it's an age thing, though.
is this the Shantae of 2022, or is this the
That's
one from
Shantae, and how
2006?
Shantae has always been.
Okay.
But I think that I appreciate Mommy Love being honest, though, because I'm 27. I see this stuff we see this stuff in today's dating right now between the ages of 22 to like 30. I'm going to say 35 for guys. I'm pushing it, but this is real. They invite you to a club. They invite you to a section. They're not inviting you to black tie events. Like they're inviting you where you're going to be
so
around.
I didn't know it was a club. He just said to a party. Like
Party club. It's the same thing. You're piecing up on somebody else's stuff and y'all are all like riding out together. These are her friends. These are her people. Like he's coming in as an outsider. Like Kyle was saying, it's smart if the guy brings like, okay, at least one other homeboy with him. Because stuff can go really left really fast, especially like if the female is liked or like she's sought after by there's 9 times out of 10 there's other guys there that like her as well, whatever it may be. And that's why I was saying, like in the situations now, the male to female ratio, like when I've gone out places or gone to parties, there's a lot more females now than there are guys in the building.
Because it's just the intention.
Hard to do that. Huh?
It's the intention, like, okay,
it's
like
an Indian party, right?
Party. You know,
A
like
lot of hard legs at these black parties.
Right. Especially if you just met this woman, like, don't go to I don't care what she invites you to. Don't go until you know, because she might have a crazy ex. She might have a crazy something going on that she's trying to make jealous, and she want him on his arm. And I just feel like it can be dangerous. Like, you just never know the situation.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think men just going out with, well, it's a man are, but just be mindful of who you're going out with. I mean, if it's somebody that seems to be a certain type of person, I think you kind of get that itch, like, oh, I think it'll be good. But if it's somebody like, ratchet,
these guys don't care. If she got her body done, if she's bad and he thinks he's gonna hit, he's showing up.
Yeah, he's showing up.
He
think he's gonna hit.
Got her body done.
If she's got a lot of these guys my age, I'm gonna just say it, my age. I'm not gonna speak for everybody else, but guys my age, if she got her body done, she has a pretty face. What you say about flossing, hygiene is on point. She could work at McDonald's. They don't give a damn as long as they think that they're gonna have sex with you or go home with you at the end of the night or get a conversation with you. They will be in that building. They will be there. They gonna get there. They will be there.
But we talked about this on Thursday's show. What that man name? You know, he's saying how men would do anything about when it comes to a woman or some coochie or something like that. Man, it's a lot of thirsty men out here that would. I mean, he would man bark after that thing to make sure to see if he gonna get it. And I mean, I'm just being real. Like, a lot of men out here that just out here just. I mean, he would bar like a dog to get that coochie.
Oh wow!
You gave it up.
Oh. Like, man, they don't give a shit about us.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move on, y'all. Rebellious Videos says Sheik invites me to a party. It's an L. Note taken. So I think you might have an admirer over there. Hit the like button if you haven't already found me. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. BMS for Tech $5 said, so why not just have him be the plus one instead of inviting him to a party on some individual shit? I mean, if it's a club or something, I don't see a plus one, really. But shout out to you for the super chat. Rebel's video again, $2 said, these panels are so informative. Thanks, ladies. What about the men? You don't think the men are doing anything? Rebellious Videos?
They don't like us.
I feel offended. Hink. We got. Doug Will with the $4.99. What else we got going on here? Who's that? He gets a mess. Oh, okay. Y'all starting trouble in the back, I see. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Ladies, I got a real quick question for you guys, and then we can go ahead and move on. Is there such thing as handsome privilege? I'm gonna go ahead and put these slides up real quick. I'm gonna tell you where I got this from, and then y'all can go ahead and answer, and then we'll move on to the meat because we know the ladies like the meat. Sham when they came in hoodie season. Okay, see what's going on there. Here we go. Oh, y'all waiting on me. Here we go. Handsome privilege. Handsome privilege. Oh, not that one. Did you know that there is a thing called handsome privilege? Handsome privilege is indeed a thing, and if you haven't experienced it, well, women cook, clean, buy gifts, make reservations, etc. For men, they find attractive. You haven't experienced it because you're lacking in the gene pool, beloved. Last slide. And honestly, as sad as it is, even the broke ones still benefit from it. You know how many fine, broke ass men be having their way with women? It's really unfortunate. So, ladies, I'm asking you guys, is there such thing as handsome privilege? We talk about pretty privilege all the time, and we know that's the thing. But do some of these handsome men, pause, that's out here that consider themselves attractive, do you think that they're able to finagle them way into women with the money, the moolah, and get special privileges? I know on that show we was on, Mommy 3 Love. Didn't what's her name say she's a giver? Home girlfriend say once she likes somebody, she just takes care of them.
She just take care of them. That's exactly what she said, and it's so true. But yes, their privilege it exists. I mean, and I always say it even on on my platform that if a woman don't even touch you or hug you, or she don't talk about nothing sexual, she can be just saving herself a 90-day rule, whatever that shit is. She can be doing all that, but if she do not talk about nothing, she just don't touch your shoulder, that means she's using you for something. She using you for some money. She using you that she's not even attracted to you. And I feel like most women, in some cases, we do think like a man. If I'm not sexually attracted to a man, I just don't like him at all. I'm not a one night stand type chick. I just can't meet a guy at a club and I go in bed with him. I can't do that. I gotta be like some type of way attracted to you in some type of way to even.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and most women, they don't even like a man, but they use them, and they'll lie to them like they saving themselves for 90 days or saving themselves for marriage. And they know they ain't saving shit. Because guess who they giving it to? Tyrone. Tyrone hit her up real quick. Tyrone hit her up, or her baby dad or somebody hit her up so quick, and she giving up in one day. But she's dating this real good man that she don't even like that. But he check off some of her boxes. And so that's just what some women do. I'm sorry, but that's just life.
Trifling ass heifers.
Wow, Meek.
So the question was, a handsome man, do we get a what?
Is there a such thing as handsome privilege? So it's the opposite of pretty privilege with
in
women.
my book? No, because no, I'm serious, because they think they can do what they want to do and how they want to do it because they look so good, and then them be the ones to try to dog you out. No, sir.
So why you get a man at first baby then?
Huh? Bruiser? What did you say?
So you saying handsome privilege ain't a thing?
I mean, I admire a handsome man, but if he think it's all about him, no. Like, I honestly, this guy on social media, I showed my husband this guy the other day. I said, somebody like him, I would not fool with, because he's just all, you know. He was handsome, but he know it's all about him. Oh hell no! You stay in the mirror longer than me.
But it's like pretty boy though, right? Not necessarily.
Yeah, not gay. Like I have
not
a
like
brother.
pretty boy with a baby hair. Like not that.
But he's just a handsome man. He dressed nice, and he's always, you know, he got his wine, and he just like.
So you checking him out, huh?
No, I mean, he come on my timeline, and I told him I would never go with nobody like that.
25 years ago, you would.
First of all, when he
so why did you feel the need to tell him that you would never talk to him? Like, how did that conversation even come about?
Why not? Don't men look at women? Come on, let's go there. Don't men look at women?
That says a lot right there. I mean, if it's not a
don't
thing,
men-
why did it even come up? Like I see Chamonix biting her lip and Mommy 3 Love, like, oh, got him.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, especially after I left my kid's father, I ain't gonna lie, I love me a good toxic challenge. Boy, let me shut up.
Let me ask y'all ladies this.
Whoa, wait, hold on. Mommy 3, you said you like a good toxic challenge. Is that what you said? When you left your man, you said you were nothing better than the.
She was drinking the eggnog a little early, y'all.
Only thing I'm saying is, I mean, I can't help it. I just have to keep it real, like on some real stuff. Like one thing I hate for a woman to say that I didn't know he wasn't shit. I didn't know he wasn't shit. We know, we do. Man, their first approach, we already know. Like, man, I know he got some good down there. That's how we think sometimes. Like that, he can choke me, do some stuff to me. So it's like when me being in that long relationship, I done had them kids. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes in a phase in life, Lord Jesus, I hate that we go through that phase. But sometimes how y'all look at a woman, y'all can look at a woman like, man, I know she, I know how they'll look from the back. Sometimes we'll look at a man.
No, us men don't look at women like that. We put women on a pedestal.
Look at a man and be like, he's toxic, and we can tell our homegirl, man, he's so toxic, y'all. The boy don't even return my phone call, but boy, when he do, he come over and he do some things to me that no man had never done. And baby, we know he ain't.
I'm going to speak on behalf of the man. I don't think we heard such rhetoric like that. We take our shirts off and we lay it down over the puddle for them. Yeah. If we already in the car and we see her coming out, we rush around in order to open up her door to allow her to get in. This
chivalry.
This is what we do. So
that's just
we need some single men on this corner, baby. We need to kick these married men up off this panel because, baby, I need to hear these modern men that's dating like we date.
I'm married and I know that shit don't exist no more.
Because, baby, y'all don't know what's going on.
Yeah, what doesn't exist anymore? What is he talking
Bruce,
about?
What was your question you was gonna ask earlier? You was gonna ask a question.
And I was gonna say that the reason why handsome privilege do exist is just look in your purse when you go out. If you got more than one panty liner, if you keep changing them panty liners, that's the reason why.
Say that again.
He think he know a woman because he knows something about a panty liner. No,
oh Lord,
panty liner do not do
that box getting wet. That let you know it has some privilege do exist.
I think that you're
and one more other thing.
Hold on, Bruce. I'm confused. School lesson about the panty liner.
Whenever getting soaked down there, they got to go to the restroom.
Hold on. Go ahead, Bruce. What you said, brother? Go ahead.
Whenever break it down, bro. Down there, you gotta have them spare panty liners to change out. So. Yeah, that's handsome. That's what handsome privileges do. And another thing, let me tell you, the most significant thing handsome privileges done is the leading cause why there's so many single parents. There's this fucked up community because of handsome privilege. This niggas looking so handsome, y'all just going out giving these niggas babies. You ain't gotta have a plan, ain't gotta have that money. They nigga look good. You gonna get that baby. Ruffle some feathers.
Oh, no, I just think that's a caliber woman. Because again, you ain't dropping nothing in me. I don't care how fine you is. Nope. I think I'm the oldest one on the panel. I'm damn near 60.
All right. So everything was planned? Like as far as your children, they were all planned?
My son wasn't. I was 19.
Right, so then you got dropped in.
No. We were dating. We were dating.
It doesn't matter. You still got dropped in.
No, when you say drop it, from what he's saying is handsome privilege, meaning that they can get with you drop off what they're gonna drop off, and then you end up being a single mother. My son's
That's what
father
you did,
now
right? You want to call yourself a mother to father, so yeah, that's
right,
exactly what happened.
No.
Handsome
We
privilege.
were
Handsome privilege
dating.
got you being a mother and a father.
Hold on, fellas.
We were dating. This
You
is a
may be
difference.
wrong. Let's hear out on this. Let's hear on this. You know,
We were
maybe
dating.
we got it wrong. Go ahead.
Handsome privilege to me is when you saying a man is can see you and just get with you, do what he do, and just go on. My son's father and I were dating. It wasn't no, I see him, he's so fine, and I'm gonna drop my drawers and we're gonna get it on it. No, it wasn't like that.
That's
we were
extreme.
dating. Huh?
That's a little extreme. What we were saying is you kind of relax your restrictions on the more handsome brother. But if guy is not as handsome, if he's ugly, he got to bring a little bit more to the table. He got to have money. He got to have a nice car. He got to have all these things going on.
He was handsome to you.
A guy recognizes this. If I don't look as good as my peers, I'm gonna have to compensate for that. So I think guys are ugly compensate by having more money and having more lavish things to compensate for their looks that's not on that level.
Get an ugly guy
who really
that have
look
a
good
great
ain't really got to do a whole lot.
That have a great personality, is a good people person, and and his swag is just everything, and he's ugly.
Do you got to have a great personality for the box?
Huh?
He got to have a great personality.
If he got a messed up attitude, he not getting the box.
You just gotta let this one marinate, Veronica. That's
okay.
This one of the other ones I spoke on earlier. Let it marinate a little bit, sip your coffee, and just sit back on this one.
So my brother is a perfect example of everything that y'all just said. My brother, he's light skinned, tatted. He has, he looked like a little Chris Brown. If I'm being
really?
Yes. And he literally will show up to the club with no money and end up in a dude's section drinking for free because the dudes are going to let him because they know, your brother's over here. He going to bring the females. The females are going to want to come to this section. So
damn, for men out here using other men?
I'm telling you right now, he went and got locked up. He didn't care about none of us putting monies on his books because he was piping down 3 girls in rotation. And he know one of them 3 girls is going to go put money on his books, bail him out, call him, sweet talk him, and he got somewhere to lay his head whenever he gets out. So yes, handsome privilege is a very real thing.
JR. So you gonna tell me that when you get ready to roll out, maybe when you was younger and you had your team, even though this dude ain't have a lot of money, he could pull females. You gonna have that dude on you. You gonna have that dude with you on your team. I even done that. Like I know I had a homeboy, one of my best friends. I'm not gay or nothing, but I recognize handsomeness in other brothers, and I know that. Look, if I got this guy with me, he's got brown eyes, he's a little lighter, you know what I'm saying? He's in shape, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather have him with me because I know if I can't pull him, he gonna pull him, and we gonna have a chance versus somebody who don't look the part.
Bros, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never done that before.
Oh, come on, man.
No,
pride. That's the
Chicago
pride.
What I'm saying is that most of the men that was in my circle, which was a small circle, we was all getting women at different rates. But we were still getting women. But I never looked at another man and said he's handsome, so he's gonna.
Well, what I'm saying, whenever you pick in your group, you know what I'm saying. When everybody hitting them, but let me roll. I'm the ugly fellas. Come on, the ugly fellas. I'm
just saying that the ugly fellas are just on their own. They have nothing to do. If they don't get no women, they just don't get no women. I have nothing to do with that.
Okay, everybody different, but I'm not letting no ugly brothers ride with me. Because when you was younger, a lot of these guys ain't even have cars.
Whether they can roll with me or not. That's just something that I've never done. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I just never. This is my first time hearing about it. I heard women. We had conversations about women identifying who was pretty, and they attached themselves to the pretty woman for whatever reason. We've seen that, but I just never seen it from a guy's perspective. I'm just being honest. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with how you identified when you were younger, but I'm just saying I've never done that.
What I'm saying is when I was coming up when I was younger, I came up in poverty in the hood. You know what I'm saying? When we got a car, somebody borrowed a car or something like that, and when we got to go to a party with young guys, we not bringing no bruh. If you bring you with you, man, you gonna run all the females out. It was sort of like that type of thing. And I don't know, I'm using just making sure that it's almost like you picking a team to go play basketball. You want the guys that's gonna win the game. So you're not picking up no scrubs. You know what I'm saying? If this guy ain't got no money, at least he know how to talk to females. At least he know how to attract pools of females. I'd rather have him on my team than somebody who's gonna run females out of, you know.
At a younger age, I wasn't doing that. We were just kicking it.
Okay.
Yeah, like we had our same circle from grammar school on up. So it wasn't really like I had to kick anybody in, kick anybody out. Now people attach themselves to us because, you know, we always roll with a certain pack, and it was that way. The older I've gotten, I do attach myself with people that I can learn from or doing better, has the same thought process that I do, want to get it, want to strive to be better. I do surround. But when it came to looks, I never looked at a guy's looks in order to determine if they're going to be in my circle or not. So that's all I'm saying.
No, well, it wasn't a determination of they're going to be in my circle. My circle is different than people necessarily that I would go out.
Looking at the guys if they handsome or not. That's all I'm saying. I'm not looking at the guy.
Like, as far as my circle is not built off of looks. It was just only like, okay, if I'm going to the club, you know, who do I want to rock with me? You know what I'm saying? I want somebody to rock with me that's either on my level or above my level. That's it. And if it happened to be,
I don't care if they rock with me. I just move. Like, I've talked to certain people and I've said that I just always did what I wanted to do. I didn't really give a fuck about what everybody else is doing. So my focus was never really on a circle. I wasn't even thinking about who was doing better than me until I got a little older and I realized the importance of it, about the people that's still doing the same shit. They ain't know nothing. They not giving me nothing. So why am I hanging around them? So when I was younger, I just never done that. That's all.
But guys do look at other guys like they're like what they have to offer, or whether they're gonna be like guys do. Like, you're not gonna, if Michael B. Jordan, perfect example. You are not a gay male, but if you see Michael, you're not gonna sit up there and call Michael B. Jordan ugly, or be like,
but I will call Michael Blackson ugly. I can see that Michael B. Jordan is a decent looking brother.
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't make me gay or sus. It just make me recognize, okay, I know what women look for. I know what they see in handsomeness. I can pay attention to these things. So, okay, yeah, they probably gonna think this dude is attractive.
But okay, I mean, so you speaking to somebody that I don't even go to concerts, right? Because I just don't see myself fanning out over anybody. Like,
so you don't know who Michael B. Jordan is. I
know who Michael B. Jordan is, but but I don't know who he is. I could sit here and say women find him attractive, but I'm not sitting here saying if Michael B. Jordan is up in let's say I'm at a party, right? And my homeboy was like, oh yeah, Michael B. Jordan is inviting us to the section. Come on. And I'm like, I'll be in a second. Y'all go ahead. I'm not, really? Oh yeah, let me go. I'm just not charged like that. Like to value another man on a pedestal like that. Like, I don't give a fuck who he is.
Okay, that's okay. So let me just say, Trey Songz was in Dallas.
It's like, I've known.
Yes, he was. I went to that party.
All these dudes were on Instagram going to Trey Songz section, trying to be all the
that's different.
That's right.
But that's them. I mean, they fan him out for whatever reason. I just don't see myself fanning over anybody. I don't want to put anybody on the pedestal.
I just feel
that's different. That's different when you say you're doing it. We're talking about people trying to hang with you. People trying to rock with you, not you rocking with other people that might look better. It's people that like, hey, look, man, can I rock with you, Bruiser? Can I roll with you? You know what I'm saying? Can I hang out with you?
Maybe I missed the point.
Like, hold on, man. Let me see.
I missed the point. So
I even looked at guys' outfits. I'm like, bro, nah, man, you can't rock with me, bro. Look what you wearing, bro. You need to go. I'm sorry, bro. You got to go get that shit together, man. You got to go get your haircut, bro. You can't roll with me, bro.
It's
that type of thing, man. You cannot roll with me, bro. You got to have your shit together, man. You're going to fuck my whole shit up. You got to go get your shit together, bro. That's what I mean by handsome privilege. It ain't necessarily like, oh, you look good, bro. I know you. No, it's, hey, look, can you compliment me? Or you going to chase women away? Or women going to look like, damn. You even had guys that Go ahead. I talk too much.
You're right, but that's you leading. That's you leading, saying you don't want this around you. You know what I'm saying? So you got people that's looking up to you, and you saying, "Hey, bro, you gonna rock out with me? You gonna have to, look that way." That's something that's different. What you said before that was that if I recognize a man that's handsome, like I'm not gonna want to be around it because he's gonna bring women in. It's just like that's just not how I roll. But go ahead, Mommy 3. What were you saying?
Yeah, I just feel like JR, you was just a real good percentage of guys that were just cool. You know, you just laid back. You didn't say much. You were just a cool dude to be around. People just want to be around you because you didn't do much. You didn't say much. But you have some dudes that just growing up to be simps where they have to do those things just to even get some type of play, just to get a woman in bed with them. They would have to just literally be in a group with some guys that some women would go to for a woman to even come at them. You know what I'm saying?
And just to add to what she's saying, there's two things you want to account for when you go out. You want to account for, okay, so if you're going out, you're going to a college party or anything like that, or you're going to the club or something like that, and you got guys with you. You want to make sure that you can account for your ability, you know what I'm saying, to be able to take a girl with you or take home if you're trying to go and smash. And then you got some girls that come in groups. Some girls ain't going nowhere unless they friends are going. And if it's you and you got, it's for them and it's for you, and all of the girls look good and they bad as shit, and all the guys you got with you is just, what the fuck? They're not gonna rock with you. So you're gonna lose out on that, and they're gonna go with the brothers that look decent because they want their girl. Like I think women had that thing too, where they had to take one for the team. But I don't think women are more inclined to take one for the team than men are. So when I talk about coming in as a group and making sure the team of guys I got look decent, look, if we gonna rock with y'all, we got to be able to rock with the whole group. You know what I'm saying? We got to be able to match up. We got to have some type of attractive compatibility with these girls so we can move. Otherwise, you're gonna lose out.
Yeah. I think the reality
so like attractiveness can come from different. I mean, if you have somebody that's in the circle that's like successful, that's still a form of attractiveness too. You know, maybe he might be well connected or something like that. He dressed nice. I guess I'm not looking at the physical appearance out of it. So I see value in the men around me outside of physical. It may be something else. So
but it's not like a one night stand thing. It's not like future relationship. Oh, is he successful? It's like is he look the part to get the box tonight? You know what I'm saying? A lot of these girls ain't going nowhere. They probably if he don't look the part, he may be, have a good job, personality. They might just call you and hang out with you alone another time. But the dude that they gonna get a box to tonight, shit, he got to be looking like he can get it tonight.
So, but there's two levels.
Most men don't even care about that. If you, as long as you can have a conversation, you can get women. I don't care what you look like. You look like a mud duck. You got some mud duck dudes out here who can get women. I promise you,
I'll
they
let
can.
the women answer that one.
I promise you, they can.
Look her, man. I'm a woman.
You had an ugly dude in your. You said every dude you had was a guy.
If somebody is ugly, I'm a woman.
Are you telling me every dude you had was a guy?
I am not an ugly woman. I am not.
Okay, but you had every woman you had. Every woman you had was a guy.
An ugly dude who could talk slick, sit in my face, and have a he could have a conversation with me generally. But shooting his shot, if you are ugly, you are not going to sit in my face and sit up here and try to tell me or sell me because I'm not attracted to you. I'm not hearing what you're saying. I'm just being honest with you on a surface level. I'm looking at him and I'm like, damn, he didn't floss. Damn, he needs braces. Damn, who did his haircut? Damn, like all these things. He smells like laundry detergent. He doesn't smell like Creed Aventus. Like you're thinking about all these things. Yes, you are. I don't care what anyone says.
You sound like a chick. You just out for the bag, and I understand, and I respect your. Let me finish, because there's some dudes out there that can hold on that don't look as good as what you talk about you like and looking for. Some dudes are just like that. They can get them because they can have conversation with them, and it's more about just their physical appearance all the time. I promise you, it is.
In their sense.
Your daddy may be ugly than a motherfucker, but he probably got your mama who was cute, and they made you.
Hey, but Hank, don't get it twisted. We not talking about a relationship and a compatibility on a relationship and moving forward to a committed relationship.
We talk
about getting ass tonight.
For the baddest chick. I mean, y'all act like this ain't never happened. Or maybe I'm just the only dude up here can pull a pretty chick. I can accept that.
Hank, you need to sit this one out with me.
I can pull, but it's one thing to pull them with your conversation. It's another thing to pull them without even saying anything.
But it's just the truth. Like,
that's just like some of them who are less fortunate. They have to work twice as hard as the guy that is fortunate. It happens, but it still happens. So
I'm not denying that.
Like other dudes pulling bad chicks. I see it all the time in the club, man. It happens. Where they have to use their money to do it, or where they have to use their influence or their power. It happens.
You just made my point. I just said the guys that don't look as good, they have to compensate for that by using their money.
Do what you gotta do.
Well, yeah, that's so we agree. So we
agree.
That
I disagree with you. I was disagreeing with some of these other points they were saying, talking about these ugly dudes can't get dudes.
But Indy is making a point. But honestly, at the end of the day, just really pay attention and just honest, like on some being real. If a woman just don't see you off the physical end point, she ain't gonna really just give you the time of the day that she will with someone that she's attracted to. She just and it's sometimes she look at and then so if you bring in money, personality, you a funny guy, you a good guy. If you bring that to the table, I'm finna be for real. She gonna pinpoint all the stuff that Indy said about you. She gonna look at your teeth. She finna find something wrong with you just to not even fuck with you.
And that's why you heifers end up the way y'all end up.
Yeah.
Y'all just looking for one aspect of the physical aspect. Y'all not looking no far below.
Let me ask you a question.
Can I get into once you guys get done?
Let me ask you. Go ahead, Shan. My bad. I've been cutting you off all day. Go ahead, Shan.
It's okay. So I get what she's saying, but I think, Hank, it's important to understand that looks, that's subjective. So people look, what's handsome to one person can be completely, unhandsome to another person. Like I have a friend of mine who thinks you're the most handsome person in the world. One of my friends thinks you are like, but it's all, listen, this is honest. I'm not even like, listen. So it's all about the person and what their type is, their preference is. So when we're talking about a handsome, Andy could think a man is handsome and I'm like, where I don't see it, So that's subjective, first of all. Second of all, and to answer the question, I do think handsome does come with a privilege. I mean, we've seen it in this space. Look at the Tates. I've seen girls literally on their show and they're throwing themselves at them. Not necessarily because they're just, they have money, but because they're handsome men. And so they get the whether we like to admit it or not, life is not fair. When you're handsome and you have money, you kind of get the pick of the litter, She's
right.
And it goes down from there. So it's for us to sit here and say that women are blind and there's no privilege in a man being an attractive man, that is absurd. That is crazy to me. I mean, there's some women who could close their eyes, yes, but we're all human beings and it's okay to say that we're human. Yes, we would ideally like the girl to get to know the character of the guy and all these things, but it's just the way it is. Okay. So there is a privilege I think that it comes with, maturity as well. As women mature, they understand that a man just being handsome is just not enough. But when women are in their young age and they haven't gotten to that level yet, they are looking at the way he looks. They just are.
She's right.
Shante, I believe it. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but what I was saying is we acting like, well, that's always the case. Every case. Pretty girl gets with a handsome man every time. And we know that's not the truth. Because I've seen some ugly ass babies out here. Some of y'all women have some ugly ass kids. And they can't be coming from handsome, dime dropping ass people. They coming from some ugly motherfuckers.
Monet, when I say you tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, because now that I'm older, it's like I used to always say my man had to be, because he got to be 6 and feeding up, but now I love me a short man. I don't care if he treat me right, he treats me right. I don't care the height.
And when you say treat you right, he got the money to be able to keep you happy, right? That's what you mean, right?
No, I'm just saying he can be my
man. Look, stop the cap. It's too. Hey, Mona, she just lose the whole point. Monet. It's too. Right. You should have just left it at that. It's two extremes to the spectrum. One extreme on one end is handsomeness. The opposite extreme is money. If two guys come in the club, the guy with the money is not so handsome, but a guy that's really handsome, he gonna get played, and the guy that got money is gonna get played. Those are the two privileges.
But when you talk about money,
we can sit here and say that it ain't that.
It's the truth. I mean, whether we live our lives by that method is totally different. But we're talking about in general, when a person doesn't know the character of a guy or anything else, they don't have anything else to go by. Those are the two things that women do
Yeah,
you know.
and then again, you can't keep going back on things because in so many, in all of these panels, we always talk about a man that can provide. If we in a club, is what you looking for? You looking for something that you can take home for the night, or you looking for something to keep forever? So
Man,
what
I'm not.
are
If
you
you're looking for somebody in the
Hey, we
club to
know.
take
I'll
home forever,
give you my
about
number.
money? If I'm talking to a man, I don't go to clubs no more. I don't do that really like talking about it.
because you just got to get a box up and you go to the club.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna talk about what he makes. Because at the end of the day, you talk about a man needs to provide. If I get pregnant again, damn, I'm not. But if I get pregnant again, can I stay at home and take care of these goddamn kids? So hell yeah, I'm gonna talk about what a man makes.
Talk your shit, Mommy 3.
Veronica, I'm gonna tap out with you, baby.
Stand on this shit. Stand on these panels. Y'all saying that a man need to provide and a man need to do this, but you getting mad because I don't want a broke nigga? Hell no.
Listen. I think all the ladies can agree that immaturity is a huge factor. So like when you were younger, you was what, in between 19 and 25, you probably was more focused on the spectrum of handsomeness, especially coming out of high school. You really, you got money, but you know what I'm saying? I would say a lot of girls probably make fun of y'all had an ugly dude on your shoulder.
But take it back to high school when nobody has money.
When nobody has not money.
Who are they going after? The football player,
handsome dude,
guy that's attractive, blah blah blah, this and that. Like you're not.
I can relate to y'all. That's why I know when I have my daughters, we're gonna be able to have a conversation.
Was handsome, baby. Not every football player was handsome.
Yeah, because I like them I like them geeks.
My guy was nerdy. I ain't gonna lie. My guy worked electronics in Walmart. My baby dad, he was a little nerdy little motherfucker. But I love his Jordan flight. He was a nerdy cargo pants. Oh, I loved him because I was popular in college. I was popular and stuff. But he was just this little nerdy, little quiet little motherfucker. And I loved every inch of him. And baby, he worked at Walmart and I loved him.
But there's a such thing as universal attraction.
Every inch of it.
There is a universal
attraction. Like you have more people. Everyone's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. But if someone is just universally attractive on the scale of attractiveness, they have certain qualities. Maybe for a woman, who was that? Mr. Let It Go. A small head, a smaller shape face, a more rounder face, and like certain attributes that fit into that category of attractiveness.
Yeah, it is a universe. That's how they grade and rank pageants and all this other shit. You know, the men with the square jaws. You know, women with the. Go ahead.
Can I tap in? Okay. So I do agree. Like when we were in high school, I like the football players, the star football players, the star basketball players. You know, that was the thing then. You know what I mean? But nobody liked me. I was. They called me.
Was your hair still like that?
No, I had long hair. No. My hair used to be down my shoulders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and let me just set this straight. The reason why I wear my hair cut, not that I have to explain it, is because I have alopecia. I could wake up tomorrow and all my hair be gone. So
tell your husband, don't come try to slap me, then.
No. So the reason why I cut it off, I didn't want to wake up one day and become devastated. So if I'm used to wearing a short, and if I wake up tomorrow and it's gone, oh well, I've never had it. You know what I'm saying? So when I was in high school, I was real skinny.
I got a question.
I was like everybody. I'm the home girl. Everybody liked me to hang out with them. That was it. But when I got out of high school and I developed more, that's when everybody started to holler at me. The guys that used to be the star on the team and all this stuff. You know, then I was more attractive because I had the titties. I had, different things like that. So yeah,
when you first cut your hair, did you have to get like used to like not having it? Like, did you still make a mistake and do like this and shit, or like this?
He's gonna change the conversation.
No, let me tell you what I did. Because I'm a cosmetologist. I am a cosmetologist. What I did was my hair was long. I was in the salon one day. And my specialty was hair restoration, and I dealt with a lot of women that was dealing with hair loss, and I had the solution. But when I noticed, I started having the same symptoms they had when I went to the dermatologist, which I knew what it was, but I just wanted to confirm. When they told me I had alopecia, I did cry. And my thought was, God, I'm helping everybody else. Why did you put this on me? And my client said, Veronica, hair is so vain. It's so vain. You can have cancer, you can have lupus, you can have any of those things, but it's so vain. I was like, you know what, Ray, you are absolutely right. And I was like, what would I do if I had really, really short hair? So I took the scissors and I started cutting. And each time I got short and short, I was like, well, hell, I still feel the same. And then I just cut it all off. And I said, well, hell.
But you have a feminine face too. A lot of women can't pull off that kind of a haircut.
Too big for that.
Still look good. Like you have a very small face. You keep yourself in shape. So it balances you out. You still look feminine. Like, you know what I mean?
What about the women that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think it's better if you go with the, like, you know, the Wakanda Forever joint, you know?
Well, you know what? I can't pull it up now, but I did do that 2 years ago. I shaved it all off. It was just so thin, and I dyed it platinum. Shit.
Get that joint. Put some baby oil on that joint.
I'm gonna color it next week, mommy. But,
hey.
But listen, it's gonna lay down a little bit.
Hey, Veronica, I hear you, baby. Shout out to the bald head hoes, baby. Shout out to the bald
It's
head
cute.
But that's why I'm saying they always give me shit up. I got weed on.
What about the women that's still, you know, that's not small, they have a big head, and what if they lose their hair? They're still beautiful with a big ass head. They still
But
beautiful.
they gotta have a big ass booty behind that.
Not necessarily.
Just like a man. Listen, it's the same thing. Just like when a man is ugly, he got to compensate by having money. A woman better. If a woman is bald head, she better compensate from the neck down. Better be compensated for.
But y'all say y'all like women natural.
Do you think if a woman loses her hair,
it's natural? She ain't got eyelashes on. She ain't got no makeup on.
It's like losing your ability to see. It's like losing your sight. Your ass better be able to hear well.
Well, what if she don't have an ass, but she have other attributes?
She better go get
not physically, but not physically. But I mean, that's everybody. You know, everybody has a preference. You know,
she better
that's
have
just like the other panel. They don't like women that wear wigs. They don't like, you know. And I came back. Well, men, they color their beard now. They're doing this chalk. She look like somebody that died, and the police that marked it out around their forehead. What is that all about? You know what I mean? And it's just, I'm serious.
You know, we already talked about this.
Y'all want something natural, like Veronica is not, you know, like she's a natural woman. So why is this a big deal that her hair?
Is it a big deal that we?
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with it. It ain't nothing wrong. All I'm saying is, if you gonna cut off your hair, make sure that you enhance everything else, not surgically, but you know.
Well, what's wrong with surgically? What's wrong with surgically?
We can't say it's
God put doctors here for a reason. If you can't get it one way, get it the other.
Baby,
if you can't get it one way, get it the other.
I think that it's all about your preference. There are men who like women with short hairdos. I mean, in the 90s, we had a whole Holly Berry, Tony Braxton era where they had the short haircut.
Yeah, that's fine.
I have a friend, Tam, who has short hair. She gets guys all the time. It looks great on her, you know? So I don't think...
that Jada Pinkett style back in, what, Woo? Was it Woo?
But I have a friend now, present day, who has a short hairstyle, and she gets guys all the time. That's not an issue.
That's not an issue. We talking about when you go with a temp fade like Veronica.
Let me answer that. So here's the thing. So honestly, everybody got their own opinion, right? But when my husband tells me whatever you like, I like. When I told him I'm about to lose my hair, he said, well, hell, I'll cut all mine off too. So I don't care what nobody think about me, how they look at me. Or I've had people to say, oh, I don't know if that's a man. I don't give a fuck.
I can't wait for my man to say.
At the end of the day, as long as John Edward Ferris like it, that's the only man. Actually, he, gave us a job. I love it. So it don't matter. It don't. And here's the thing: you got to be comfortable with how you feel, regardless of what anybody else says. It's your preference that you like. If a woman don't have no hair, make sure she have an ass. Well, if she don't have an ass, you said, well, she can't get it surgically. I said if you can get it surgically or in the gym, either way, as long as you do it for you.
See, Veronica, I'm with you. Because I seen your IG pictures. You lost your hair and you gained it in a little other ways. I mean, for your age, you got a little bubble on you. That's cool. But mommy three, you got to hold on now, because if you lose your hair, you lose everything.
Right there. I had a skinny baby hair.
Bruiser. Fade to black. Just take him out of here.
Listen, did that run up your head?
Don't do that, Bruiser.
I had a skinny BBL.
Damn. Now hold on, Simply Andy. You just sit there and said that a man looking ugly can't come in your face, But you gonna get on Bruiser for sit there and say, if she lose her hair, she ain't got no ass, she in trouble. How's that double standards work? Hold on, Mama 3 Level. I need to hear Simply Indy. She got to explain that bullshit.
Because she's not ugly.
Okay, but you sit there. No. You made fun of. You said you wasn't giving a dude who was what you consider ugly, right? He can't get.
Which was mostly hygiene factors, right? Which was mostly hygiene factors. Things that I listed didn't have to do with his height. None of that. I said hygiene factors, the way that his haircut is, because you could take a handsome guy with no haircut. Quarantine showed us that. COVID, when all the barbershops were closed and guys couldn't get haircuts, you might be very handsome. You might be able to grow a beard. You might have nice teeth, all that stuff. But that haircut, not having no lining, all that, it's little stuff. And most of the stuff I named was
but she can control what Bruce is talking about. I don't know if you know what Bruce is talking about, but she can control that. You can fix that. You can correct that. But a man, you sit there and turn the man down. You said, no, he can't get the time of day. He in my face with them food in his teeth and shit like that. He don't look good. He can't get a time of day. He can't get no place.
You can fix your teeth. You can fix your teeth. But if you've got money and you don't go fix your
weight too. You can fix your weight. You can fix your body too. But come on. I'm trying to figure it out. You're gonna give Bruce a shit for saying what he said, but you're gonna sit there and say that ugly dude can't get no play at all.
He can.
Okay. But she goes to the gym. If you know Mommy Love, she goes to the gym literally every day.
I ain't got nothing to do with that. People go to the gym all the goddamn time. They don't mean shit. They don't mean they do it right.
Like, that's what I'm saying. You have people who get money, who do these things, who don't go fix their fucked up mouth, who don't go do stuff that they're supposed to go do. That, like, you have that. Let's just be honest, because they think, oh, well, I got money, shit, I don't have to do that stuff.
But that says a lot about a person who don't care about how they look, like their teeth and all this stuff. And then sometimes men, let's be honest, they don't like going to the doctor. They don't like going to the dentist. And sometimes it takes a woman to say, hey, babe, go get your mouth fixed. I mean, you might not want to say it like that.
I'm not going to be with a man suffering from a damn toothache every fucking night.
So let me ask you this, Mommy 3. So Mommy 3, let me ask you this. If you had the choice between to date two men, you gonna date the guy that's ugly with some messed up teeth, but he make $500K a year? You gonna date the handsome dude that work at Lowe's?
Okay, let me put it like this, cause you just going all to the extreme. Okay, let me put it like this. Just like y'all tell women, you don't need no BBL. You don't need to do all this. Carry your fat ass to the fucking gym. Go to the fucking gym. Men, get yourself in order. Go to the fucking dentist. Go to the fucking doctor. Go get yourself in order. Go get yourself together so you can get you a good man.
But that's two different things, though. Because what Indies was saying, he can't fix. He can fix his teeth, but we talking about his other looks. You had an issue with.
I didn't say, but that's the thing. I didn't say anything about anybody's height. I didn't say anything about anyone's weight. The things that I brought up was smelling like laundry detergent. Smell like some cologne. Put some effort in.
Why you stinking? Why you musty?
Hold on.
Like your damn self.
Hold on, but Tide smells good though. What y'all on right now? That's better than
whenever you hold
I tell you this, double standards are real.
Okay, have you ever read The Art of Seduction? Have you ever read The Art of Seduction? It talks about there's different ways of seducing and attracting a mate. Sense of smell, the way that they keep themselves, other subtle things.
Man, I think if he got all that, but he could smell good. He could be 6 feet. But you just say, but if it's nothing to do with him.
If it's what? It cut out.
Oh, you cut off. I just think the point is that before you know all that stuff, before you even gotten close enough to him to smell, see if he smell like Axe spray or cologne or just body odor, the first thing that you're gonna go after, you're gonna notice is how they look. You know what I'm saying? Everybody says that Jay-Z is he's not really that attractive. Everybody says that Trey Songz is attractive. So without knowing anything about them, their personalities, who are you going to be more open to walking up to you before you even know anything about them?
But just like Simply Indy said, and so many, it really depends. I think Monet said it. It depends on what you are attracted to, who you like. Beyonce see Jay-Z attractive, but the next person, Halle Berry, might think Jay-Z ugly. You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's true. Or you could, I mean, we could think of a bunch of men, but like the dude who plays Thor in Hollywood, everybody always says, oh, he is so attractive and this and that, but they don't really know anything about him versus a guy like, I don't know who you could name, you know, whoever else.
Don Cheadle.
You know what I'm saying? Seth Rogen probably has more money than the dude who plays Thor, but ain't nobody going to be checking for Seth Rogen.
But just like you said, but just like most men that I saw on this panel said that they was just screwed the BBLs, right? So Trey Songz might not be nobody that I would want to just be in a whole marriage with.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think about it in all aspects of the whole situation.
Well, yeah, but who really has the more privileges overall in life? You know what I'm saying? Who can walk around the world broke? You know what I'm saying? Who can walk around with no money?
The man,
have y'all seen Jamie Foxx show? The episode where where Jamie had hired somebody new in the office, that female, and she was getting flowers to her desk, all this stuff, and they gave her that jingle. Jamie was competing with her, and he brought up to Fancy, you have pretty privilege. That's why you close as many deals. When she came to the hotel, she was dressed like a homeless person. She had a bandana on her head, all types of stuff, and she was going to close a deal with the man who just saw her yesterday. That man said, oh, I didn't know y'all were offering more than the other hotel because I was looking at the way that you look. A man is not listening to anything that an ugly woman has to say. I do not care.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Well, first of all, that's not true. That's not true.
No, y'all.
Look, man. Dude, you act like your ugly ass sister ain't getting her knocked in. You act like this person. I see a lot of obese women walk around here pregnant than a motherfucker. Somebody knocking them down.
A lot of average.
Okay. Hold on, real quick. Hold on, real quick. It's a compatibility thing. Yes, of course, ugly women are getting. But it's about who is talking to them. Like these dudes is on the same level of attraction as far as the opposite gender. So you're gonna get some monsters talking with monsters.
Yeah,
Lizzo ain't got no monster. Her boyfriend look pretty cute.
A man will screw anything.
What is he with her for?
That's not true, Mommy 3. Don't
You
pass on
that.
You passing off poison when you say this now.
No, listen. Some skinny men like big women. And some men, right? And some women.
Show me a population where skinny man is going after big women like Lizzo.
Oh, I've seen men. I mean,
Lizzo has a boyfriend. What is her baby though? Because my baby daddy is tall.
If you big like that, like Lizzo, you better have Lizzo money.
Lizzo,
listen, my sister-in-law was big as hell, and my brother loved her every inch of her.
How big?
And just her personality. I call her light.
How big was?
I call her because she was light on her feet. Her personality. Oh
she is not light on her feet if she was big.
I'm telling you. Listen, you could come with all the jokes you want. She could percolate. She could do anything any else skinny girls could do. Kim
when she get, hold on, how big was she? When she get pregnant, do it look like she pregnant or she just look normal with it?
She didn't look like she was pregnant. But guess
ain't
what?
Nobody on no 600-pound life single. That's all I'm saying. All of them be
That's
true.
Hold on. On the panel that they all have, all the girls on there are skinny, but they ain't got no man. The big girls got the men. So what you say? They got the men.
Because the reason you want me to tell you why the big women got a man?
Why?
It's because they don't have no negotiating power.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree.
I think
they don't have any power to. They don't have any power to say swipe left or swipe right.
Man,
so
women
have
power. You got guys coming out of prison with women.
So you
got guys coming out of prison with women.
If that be so, why does
these
because they can negotiate and they can choose whether or not they want this man or that man. Whenever you don't have no choice. The first nigga that won't find if you 600 pounds, the first nigga that want to sniff your underwear, I'll take it.
Baby,
come
I
on.
Promise you, there are big women out here that got that love them just the way they are.
They wash
that So you saying your negotiation power doesn't matter based on your physical appearance?
To some men, I mean, to each his own. But to some men, all the men, come on, Bruiser, all the men don't like skinny women. I've had men tell me,
I agree, but I don't know any man that's picking women that weigh 300 pounds more than he do.
I've seen women with.
I weigh 300 pounds, but you know, I'm on the thick side.
I don't think that there's
somebody knocking these ugly ass chicks up.
I don't think that there is a correlation between if somebody's pretty versus somebody's weight. I think you could be very pretty and still be, because we're talking about pretty privilege and not necessarily fitness. So I think that you can still be very pretty and be
a person's personality goes a long way.
What's the girl name that living my life like it's golden? Who's that?
Jill Scott.
Okay, so she's pretty. She's pretty for a big girl. She gonna get some dudes, but and she got money behind it though.
I think the movie that Tyler Perry made with her in there, and her husband was looking at her because she was big, and I think that was a good example. That never try to downplay somebody because of their weight or whatever, and she ended up getting a really good man.
Hold on, what?
It's like imitate.
But look who he chose to do that. Look at the actor he chose. He could have chose the girl who played Precious.
So what about big men? Do big men get the same love?
Precious is married.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, yes, she is.
Of course, she's married.
Because she got money.
I love me a big man. I like to rub on a big man's stomach.
Hey, that's what my cousin used to say. Now, me personally, I don't like big men. My husband is slim. I don't like big men. But my cousin, she loves her. She said the same thing Mama 3 said. She said, I love to rub on a man's stomach. Oh my God, it's just something about it. You know? But that's her preference.
But I think that I just want to make a comment.
Mama 3 love, you gonna need to go take a cold shower, baby.
She done switched out her panty liners 4-5 pounds already.
He know everything about a goddamn panty liner, boy.
She's on number 3.
I know you probably got to wear about 2 panty liners.
Can I say something?
She's on number 3.
Panty liner
yeah, go ahead, Shan.
Okay, so I think that's because somebody in the chat made a good comment. They said, well, Precious has money. But I think that's where you have to do. If you know you have a weakness, so let's just say you can't help that God made you an unattractive person. So now you have to figure out what other things the opposite sex likes, and you have to capitalize on that, something that you can control. For example, if you are a not so great looking guy, women like the back, status or whatever. So you have to hustle. That's why a lot of men with stat are not that attractive.
God, hold on. Did you just blame God?
I mean, who else?
I apologize. I think God gives us all talents. I don't think that.
Man, she said what she said.
So you saying Precious? The reason why Precious look like that is because of God?
I think that God made her the person that He wants her to be.
Hold on, God.
I don't think that she's unattracted to you, but I'm obviously.
Yes, thank you. I was going to say the exact same thing. Thank you. She's unattracted to you.
I do think
that's the bad narrative to give women that God made Precious like that.
We got to move on to the meat, y'all.
I'm talking to men and women. So what I am trying to say is, whatever your weakness is, I think He gives you a strength in another area. You have to find out your strength and capitalize on that. What I've noticed, a lot of guys who are successful may not be that attractive, but they learn early on that, look, I got to capitalize in this area. The pretty boy was being pretty and he was sleeping on the guy who was trying to get his bag. And now later on in life, he ain't winning like he was winning in his early 20s. Same thing for women.
Can I respond to that? And then before you move on,
I'm still talking. Give me a second.
I'm saying, go ahead. I'm going to respond afterwards.
Right. But you have to remember, like we said before, what works for you works for you. Okay. But every man does not work like you work. There are some guys, it's like every woman doesn't work like I work. Everybody has different, and I think it perfectly meshes together because we've seen people who we may not deem attractive and they're married to each other and they're happily married to each other. So I just think that instead of just complaining about what you don't have, should capitalize on what you do have and then find your mate. That's what I'm saying.
Well, if I can respond before we move forward.
Yeah, we got to move on, y'all.
All I'm going to say is what I believe God do is maybe different from everybody. I believe God don't micromanage the way we live and procreate to that point to where He's rationing out beauty to who. I think we all choose who's beautiful depending on who we partner with and make a child with. Now, as far as after birth, it's all on you and your upbringing on how you get your attractiveness and beauty. I don't think God is shaping your proportions of your body and making you more lucrative to the dating
You're
world.
focused more on the physics of her, like her body shape. But so you've never met a woman that you may say she's not attractive, but it's not her size that's making her not attractive.
Nope. No.
Oh.
I feel like the number one thing for a woman's attractiveness is her body proportion.
Okay.
No, sir.
We gotta move on,
You can
y'all.
be
We gotta
so
move on.
pretty, and you can have a messed up attitude, a messed up disposition, and you can be so ugly. Ugly.
Gotta move on, y'all. Family, we gotta move on.
Gotta move on.
It's time to get to the meat.
I know. And get to my
All right, you guys, just tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And we have reached the meat. You know, ladies like the meat. A couple super chats came through. Rebellious videos, $2. I meant the ladies self snitch to the fellas. We also have Hunt Inc. $4.99. Also, I've been enjoying privilege most of my life. We have Johnny Mongo $1.99. If you don't know Mommy 3, hey, I guess what's that? Eli 23 $9.99. We just have to be honest. Appearance matters. Taking care of your skin, fitness, and style is important, and increase your chances. This goes for men and women. Facts.
Feel the tease, baby.
Shout out to Malevolent Elephant again for the file that Boney just dropped. Appreciate you, sir. With that being said, let's go ahead and get to the meat of the conversation, which is hit the like button again. If men stop tolerating women's bullshit in unison, they will change.
Stopped tolerating women's bullshit in unison, they will change because they need you just like you need them. They need that attention. They need that validation. Let me tell you something about human beings. We desire companionship. We desire attention. We desire from the opposite sex. We are hardwired to do that. I said that to say that they need you too. If men today said, you know what, we ain't dating, we ain't getting no more attention, we ain't liking no bitches pictures, ain't no more dates, fuck y'all. We did that for a week. These will fall over and die on everything I love. See, you know why they so, I don't need no, I fuck these, get that bad girl, yeah, fuck them, yeah, we don't need y'all. You know why they act like that? Because it's 100 motherfuckers, they got 100 DMs with heart eyes and they take it for granted. Because guys give it away so freely. Guys let them do what they want to do. That's why they act like that. If that shit stopped with men today, women will change overnight, I promise you. But don't let them fool you with, we don't need no man, I don't need nothing. The reason they saying that is because they got 100 dudes to fuck. So they take it for granted. If that went away today, if that bitch lost her legs, she'd be on TikTok crying about how guys don't want her and you shouldn't leg shame.
All right. I was working Kelly Combos to the show. She's on there as well. But
Kels.
We have
I just want to say before everybody comment, that right there is a prime example of a guy that need to use other dudes to get in the club. He hurt. I'm sorry. That dude right there, he too emotional about this situation.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is that I played a couple of videos before, and I think might have been Quest, might have been cracking on them. I seen this pop up on one of the social media blogs, so let's discuss. Some men may agree with them. I know we got some different men on the panel right now, so let's get their thoughts. If men stop tolerating women's bullshit in unison, they will have a change. That way they will change. I'm gonna start with let me go to Hank, brother. Let me go to you first. See what your thoughts are.
Look here, man. I agree with the dude. Cut these heifers off, man. I'll be damn. Cut them off, and I bet you, like he said, they won't be doing some of the shit they do now. They'll show some more respect. They'll be more grateful. They probably won't be as shallow. You understand what I'm saying? They'd be more than to look and settle down with a man and not try to dump him just because he didn't buy the bag. Yeah, I believe what he's saying is true. So.
Okay. All right. Bruiser, what are your thoughts about it? I see you kind of nodding your head. You agree?
Damn right. I always say, if you take away a man's eyes and his ears, all women would fall over and die. Attention, a woman's power is her beauty and attraction, A man's power is his ability to render out attention. And if a man ain't showing no attention, they wouldn't know what the fuck to do. The whole reason why they get into the bag is so they can be able to build up their ability to attract more attention. So if you ain't showing it, man, all their whole purpose is derailed. So the guy's absolutely right. But I don't think men is operating in that in a capacity where we can just be on the same accord like that. This unison thing, man. It's just I think it's a form of pandering. But I mean, the dude got a point, but I just think it's a form of pandering. It's just something that's just impossible to happen right now.
So I agree with the guy. I think that if guys stop giving attention to certain things that they don't like, and when I say give attention, I mean not even on social media. We're talking about going out on dates, whistling, all that kind of stuff, sexual. Then women, if men say they want virgins, more women will start being virgins. I think if you say you want a girl who's modest, more men liking women who are modest, then women will be modest. So, and it has to be all men. We're talking about those highly, all levels of men have to be on one accord and say, look, we're not tolerating this anymore, and stop giving them attention. Because the women who get attention, those are the women, whether it be negative attention or positive, those women are looking at those women and they're saying, oh, I'm going to be like that. Even when it comes to, I know people like to say, well, ball players are, some of us may never want to date a ball player, but let's just be honest. There's some girls looking at his girl and like, oh, I want to be just like her, because they think that that's what they have to do to get that guy. And in any level of whatever's going on the upper level, because that's whether we like it or not, that's the woman's dream to be up there. So they're going to look at his counterpart and they're going to say, I'm going to do what she did to get him. And unfortunately, these guys are not choosing the best of women. Because if they were, these women will fall in line and they will be just like that woman.
Thank you. She just made my point. The only population of men that can come on Unison and make this kind of change, it's the guys that most women are going after, that small percentage of men. And not all men can do it. All it takes is the upper echelon man that all women desire to be with. Those are the men that sets the standard. It's not the regular guys. It's the guys that's at the top that all the women that trying to get their makeup and shit done for.
But what is the bullshit that you're talking about? You said women's bullshit. If they stop tolerating women's bullshit, what is an example of the women's bullshit?
The shallow attitudes.
You mean the fact that they want an attractive guy with money?
No, because they're shallow as hell, because that's the only thing they see is a man's money and his looks. They don't see nothing below the surface. That's an example.
It's the same thing about God.
See what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about, fellas?
I'm asking.
So go ahead, Shante.
Thank you, Hank. But I mean, we must have an open, real conversation here. Like, I understand what you're saying. I think that people should not be so superficial. But to be honest, I think both men and women alike, we do go for superficial things first. It's unfortunate, but it does happen. So I don't really know that there's anything, because I think that's always been from the beginning of time. I don't think that's something that's going on in this generation. I just think it's human nature that people are that way. Now, do they have to have a funky attitude with it? Absolutely not. Do they have to think that their shit don't stink? Absolutely not. We can change the attitude, but what people like is just what people like.
But Shante, I'm not one of the most dudes you talk about, because if that's the case, I would accept these wigs. I would accept these weaves. I would accept these eyelashes. I would accept all that goddamn makeup y'all women be wearing. But I'm not one of them shallow dudes. I look beneath the surface. You got to bring something. I want to see your soul. That's how much I want to know about you. That's how much I want to care about you. That's how I want to invest and put into you. But if you can't give me that, you can keep that fake shit. You can keep that bullshit. I don't care.
Hank, but the women that wear that stuff, they don't give a damn if you don't like it either. They're not.
I understand that. And that's why they some lonely ass heifers. Shout out to the Golden Girls, because you motherfuckers going to be moving to Florida in about 2 or 3 years when your ass ain't got nobody, no goddamn. Man up. Man up, man, and start doing these things we're talking about. Turn away from these heifers that don't want to have nothing to do with you. Turn away from these heifers that got that shallow ass attitude. Turn away from these heifers. Only thing they looking for you is a goddamn bag. They don't give a shit about your ass. Only thing you are is a clutch purse. Turn away from these heifers and see if they don't start lying the hell up.
Hank, can I ask you a question?
You may.
if you had to describe your perfect woman, what would she look like and how would she be towards you?
The woman I'm dealing with right now.
Describe her. I don't need to know who she is, but
I don't have
describe
to
her.
describe it. She knows who she is. The woman I got right now. Any woman that's on my team, she's the perfect woman for me. I'm not going to go into detail. I don't have to. The woman I got right now, who I'm dealing with, she's perfect for me. She's everything I want and a whole lot of things I don't like.
Well, what is she like?
She's good.
Nice.
I don't like. She don't wear wigs.
It's more than
she
one.
Don't wear a lot of makeup. She don't wear wigs. She wears her hair natural. She got a beautiful personality. She's all for the one pot. She's submissive. She's caring. That's the type of woman I look for. That's what I got.
Javari.
Don't try to fix these hoes.
I'm not going to. I leave. Hey, Mama 3 Love. I leave them hoes at the restaurant. I lie to them hoes because they don't mean shit to me.
Are you dating with intention? Do you plan on marrying this lady?
This woman's gonna get blessed with my last name.
Awesome. Are we invited to the wedding?
You're more than welcome, Veronica. As long as you're a good gift giver.
I know that's right.
You come with that lame shit, don't come.
You said what?
So my issue is I feel like
you don't come.
I feel like the opposite sex is always talking about the problems they have with the other sex instead of saying what it is that they actually do want. What are you looking for? Versus I can't stand women with wigs. So what do you want? What are you? What type of personality? What type of trait?
I share that with you.
That's why I asked the question. Yeah, that's why I asked the question because
I don't have no problem
hearing how many people what people can't stand. What are you looking for, and what can a woman do to achieve this? That's the solution, not just like, oh, she's got a wig on. Okay, you just want all women across the world to just rip their wig off?
Fuck yeah.
In unison.
Veronica, don't make that. Don't look. Welcome to your team.
Wait a minute, who said that to me? Who said that to me? Bruiser.
What?
Who said that to me? Who said that to me? Kyle?
Wasn't me. I don't even know what's going on right now.
Somebody said Veronica don't look. Who said that? Well, I don't know.
Veronica, I heard it too, and I'm a little confused.
Here's the thing, though. When you say that, you say all women just take the wigs off or whatever, but you have some women that don't feel comfortable because of medical reasons, different things like that. There's some women, that wears wigs like
We're talking about the exception, though. Let's talk about the rule. You're talking about the exception.
You're talking about the rule, not the exception?
You're talking about the exception.
Okay.
Why
so let me ask you. So I believe you, Hink, when you speak. I think that's the type of women that you go for. But when we're talking about as a whole, those women, when they post their natural, I think it may be some hinks in the chat, but let's not, the fake girl gets all the likes, the promoted. She's the one who's the top, and you're looking at it like, what? So if your actions have to meet what you're saying, and that's the problem that confuses women.
I got a question for you, Mona. Shane.
She's right.
What now?
I got a question for you, Mona.
Sure, Monet.
What convinced you? What convinced women specifically that they can't still pull the same guys? They can't still have the same successful relationships and a lifestyle that's given to them by a man if they are natural?
I think that you spoke really well about it earlier about there's a certain group of guys who are pretty much pulling all the shots. they're the ones who are making a standard for women. And so they, whether we like it or not, those women are looking at those women that they date, and it goes down from there. If more of those guys dated natural women with their hair, like in the 90s, you know how this like we were talking about Toni Braxton and Halle Berry, that was popular. It was popular to be more.
But what did that look? The look start? It didn't start by. It wasn't. Can
I answer this?
Go ahead.
Can I answer? So like for me, as a 20-year-old woman, for me, social media. So like for me, like
that's me. Don't play with me.
Hold on, that's
See, women can wear wigs for enhancement to make themselves look good, and there's nothing wrong with it.
That's a black and white photo. That was 40 years ago.
That just changed because it was a time when
that was 2 years ago. Don't play.
That's not always.
Okay.
That's a new phenomenon because I remember back in the day when your grandma was the one who wore the wig. That was not popular.
I mean, it is right because I can do both. I've been on this channel with my natural hair, with wigs.
But you guys cut India off. She was trying to say something. She was in the middle
so
of
social media as a young lady right now, I have other 20-something-year-old women all on my feed. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's very unpopular, and I'm not going to get as many likes when I post a picture or DMs because I don't have my ass out. I'm a modern day woman who's bringing back modesty. And that's not popular. When you look at award shows, when you look at City Girls, when you look at all them, they're all going to Tay to get their wigs done. They're all going to Dr. Miami to get their body done. They're rocking the Birkins and they got their ass out. That is the new beauty standard. So
Can I ask you a question?
I was going
to be like that though.
Oh, but hold on, really quick.
Hold on, y'all. Let Simply finish.
Other women, and this is I'm a licensed esthetician. Other women set the beauty standard for other women. So they are right in that top 20, 10%, whatever it may be. If all those women are, I know so many regular chicks in Dallas who have their body done now. You're paying 10 to 20K to go fuck the same guy that you were fucking before you got your body done. That was supposed to be a movement for women with money or to access men with a different tax bracket. Now it's normalized because other women have set that trend of what's attractive amongst other women. But
for you personally, Simply, you said you won't be able to get the same amount of likes. You won't get the same amount of DMs from the guys that's this upper echelon of guys. So you can already agree that women are finding it hard to decipher what man is trying to get a box or what man is trying to get a ring on.
Yeah, because confusion.
Hold on real quick. If you carry yourself the way you just stated and you flood in your DMs, you don't know who is there for with the right motive. But if you take all that shit away, it's gonna make it easier for you to figure out which guy is there for the right motive versus putting all this shit on. And now you got thousands of guys coming and now you don't know who the hell is there for the right motive. So you just clouded everything with all this bullshit that you put on yourself. But if you remove all that, you'll be able to see the man that's for you.
But it's confusing to us young girls, though, because we see the female Cardi B. Cardi B is fucking married. Cardi B is married. Cardi B, and she has her body done twice.
You can't call that is that really a marriage?
Like it is a marriage, but what kind of guy is she married to? Like that kind of guy, you know.
Right, but I'm telling
you, money marrying money. That ain't even like.
I get what y'all are saying, but this is let's look at the reality of the situation. When you've got girls that are for the streets that are still getting wifed at the end of the day, she has 5 to 10 years to be a hoe, and she's still gonna catch a ring at the end of it because she's attractive, because she has a nice body, because she's this and that. So the guy does not care.
That's status.
Men
marry women for status too. You gotta understand that.
They're glad that they got that girl to sit down. They got the girl that.
I also believe that women started trying to emulate the women that the men seemingly desired, like the Beyonces. Beyonce wears a wig. Would everyone think that she was so beautiful and so gorgeous, so attractive? She ripped the wig off and went natural, and during her shows, on her music videos, that's like the desirable woman. She's at the top of the food chain, so people start wanting to look like the woman that all the guys want.
The problem y'all having, look who y'all looking for at the standard. Y'all looking at the Beyonces and the Cardi B's.
But I'm just saying, okay.
No, y'all are looking at them. If you're a regular white, if you're a regular with baby spit up on your shirt and you got your hair in a ponytail and he's watching Beyonce or looking at the Instagram models or damn, you scrolling through looking at all these women, but you're not looking at your wife. What is she gonna think? She's gonna think, oh, he doesn't like my mom.
You know what she should think?
So he looks at me.
Y'all with the BBL. Y'all screwing the lady.
She got the ring. That's all she should think.
Right, but
shallow ass mindset, man. Y'all got this shallow. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
She got the
shallow
ring.
ass mindset that y'all think we look at Beyonce like it's the end all be all for us. No, not everybody into Beyonce.
Then why not stop looking at that and turn and hire the woman?
Let me finish. Kelly Rowland looks better to me than Beyonce. That's just my
not your wife.
So can I say something on that? So I think that any change a woman makes in her body, she should do it for herself.
I agree with that.
For herself, regardless of if Cardi B, how many surgeries she had, or whoever wears wigs, Beyonce wears wigs or whatever. If that's what you want to do to make yourself feel good, then by all means do you. But don't do it just to get likes or to get, other men because that's what they're looking at. You know, I personally like at the end of the day, again, I'll wear a wig, I'll go natural, I'll wear my fade, I'll cut it all down, I'll be blonde because that's something that I want to do. I had surgery because that's something that I wanted to do. Somebody had made a comment and said, what if all these women out here getting BBLs to keep a man and then their husband cheat on them? Well, my response was, if you're doing it for yourself, you wouldn't give a damn whether they did it or not because you're doing it for you.
Thank you.
Let me.
Oh my God, what was this woman at when I had a show the other week?
I'm gonna treat you to a barbershop appointment. Let's go. You ready?
I only go to one barber. Barber.
Okay,
he knows what I like and how I like it.
I'm gonna send you some S-curl grease.
I know that's right.
You know what, Bruce? You've been throwing shots at me all day.
He been throwing shots at everybody. No.
He been throwing shots at me all day. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I see you grin, but I had said nothing about you going to the dentist. I see you don't have no hair on top of your head. I said nothing about getting that microdermin up the top to try to fill that in. I see your beard, but I never said anything about you getting JRs. What's that stuff that the advertising?
Peas Henley.
P-Lee's Henley. I didn't say, why don't you go ahead and invest in some of that? I didn't say any of those things. I just let that ride. But at the end of the day, I'm okay because I know I look good with this face. I know I do. I know I do.
Bruce, you poke the wrong bear with this one, though.
S-curl grease, because if I want to rock it without just this natural fro, then baby, I still look good. And when you see me next week with my blonde hair and it waved up, I'm gonna look even better. Come on, somebody. Hello.
I got a question.
Talk your shit, Veronica.
What's up, Bruiser?
Bruiser, but I really agree with what Kelly said. Like straight up, it's the simple fact that y'all want these things, but so many men. Not saying you guys on the panel, but so many.
Never the guys on the panel. Never the guys.
First of all, why y'all people out? That's where y'all messing up. Y'all keep saying we want them. We don't want them. We may like them, but we don't
let
want
me
them.
talk. I haven't said much.
You right.
Let me say what I want to say.
You right. My bad.
A lot of men cheat with them type of women. They cheat with those women with the wigs, with the y'all think still going up. The radar is still going up for these women. And then I heard somebody on the panel say, y'all don't screw anything. That's a lie. Like, let's keep it.
So we should just change the type of women we cheat with.
Y'all cheat with the women with the wig. Y'all cheat with the women with the lashes. Y'all cheat with the women with the makeup.
So cheat with the women that don't have the wigs and lashes, we'll be all right.
Y'all woman done had.
Men marry the same woman.
All them babies.
You probably need to look at why you getting cheated on.
Damn babies. And she looking ragged, and y'all still out here cheating with those Instagram ass models. Y'all still out here screwing them women.
Yeah, but who we screw is, see, that's the thing. Y'all think it's all about who we screw. Who we screw is not necessarily who we love and we want to be with.
Anything, right?
Most men don't marry who they love and want to be with.
It's true. 48% do have done it. So
Men are going to watch porn and beat off the women they would never even marry. Like we can do that.
So let me.
I'm sorry. You can do what?
I said men will go and watch porn and we'll whack off to women we don't even necessarily would never even want to be with or like ever have a committed relationship. We can do those things. We can go and have sex with a woman that we necessarily don't want to be married to.
Gotcha.
I think the focus is why you get cheated on and not who you cheating with.
You say we don't want them. We like them. We don't want them.
Yeah.
Like, can I add something, y'all? Can I please? Thank you, my sisters and brothers.
Go ahead, Shane.
Because I'm trying not to get loud. Using my voice, But look, at the end of the day, men, you have power. When y'all said y'all wanted Miss Independent a long time ago, you got more independent women. Okay, now you're saying you won't fit from. You're trying it. You change your mind so often. In the 70s. Men celebrated women with fros, so more women walking around with fros. Your actions have to match what you're saying.
It wasn't us.
It wasn't what you mean. Wasn't you?
It wasn't us that took away our fros. It was the employment that told y'all to wear straight hair and get rid of the knotty hair.
Listen, but my point is this: when you sit here and say, when we see, and this is going on another level, when we see men, and then when they get to another status, they go get somebody of another race. women in their head, they're able to, we don't know why you did that. So we're like, oh, maybe it's the way she looks, or maybe it's, all of these things. So women try to, they're like, adapt to that. Because we're seeing what you like. We hear you, but we know y'all talk a lot. I mean, just be talking about anything. So, but we see what you like. And so what we're doing is they're mimicking what it is they see you're doing. So if you wanted to change, your actions have to match your words. 5 years ago, hoes was winning. It was men marrying strippers. And now you wonder why it's over-sexualized, Let me think about it. Just go back in time and look at how things have gone and what was popular at that time. People adapt to what's popular, what is trending. Unfortunately, we're very impressionable people. If y'all told in the 60s, if you wanted us to wear the dress, we were going to come showing up with church dresses on. All right. So yes, you have the power. Again, make sure your words match your action. And I'm
gonna have to disagree. I gotta disagree with a lot of what you said, Shane. I gotta disagree with y'all. First of all, the question here: if men stop tolerating women's bullshit in unison, they will change. They might change. It's not gonna happen overnight at all. First of all, I feel like a lot of women are still going through a phase of trying to be defiant in society's eyes and all these things. So if men all banded together and say, we're not going to tolerate this anymore, there's going to be a good amount of time where we're going to be at war with each other. Women are not just going to automatically capitulate to now what men are wanting. They're going to go through an entire phase of, well, we never wanted you anyway. We don't need you. Technology is such where you may not necessarily even need a man. You know what I mean? You can, if you want children, there's plenty of ways that you can go get pregnant without a physical man in your life. So the idea that, if we all band together, we can change the mindset of the Western woman, I think that that's ridiculous. It's almost, women are almost too far gone to where men can then just say, oh, we're going to change and women are just going to go with it. I don't necessarily think that's the case. And y'all, hold on, wait. And women are modeling their behavior in big, overall off the behavior of women who men have never said, we want y'all to be this way. Women do that. Y'all do that in your magazines and on your TV shows. These are the women that you see. So you figure, okay, if I want to be a girl who's considered to be on a TV show, Bad Girls Club, I got to look like this. If I want to go to the club and get into the club for free, I got to look like a Kardashian. If I want to be a bottle girl or if I want to be an influencer, then I got to look like this. Nowhere in there do women say, if I want to be some man's wife, this is what I need to look like. That is never brought up. So to say that that's what men are saying that they want is not true. That's what pop culture is saying, that this is what women should be. And everybody, men included, are supposed to go along with that because this is what the powers that be say. But to say that men have power, I really don't think that's true. Women don't give men that power because we've been saying for the longest, please don't wear weaves, take out the eyelashes, take out this, take out that. And y'all, respond with resistance. And because you say, well, Kim Kardashian has lashes and look at her. So it's like, well, nobody said we're going after Kim Kardashian. So I'm just saying, men having the power, it might seem that way. But when it comes to moving the culture in a certain direction, women follow pop culture icons. They don't go with just their local man. So,
let me answer you real fast, Veronica. No, I absolutely agree. Rome was not built in a day. It takes time to change over. Absolutely. But if men started, then we will follow. And then one of the things you said, you're talking about average men. Unfortunately, like Bruiser mentioned earlier, yes, it has to be desired men who change the way that they, whether we like it or not, that's just how it is. If those men change their standards, it said every woman needs to walk around here like she's a nun. You're going to see a lot more. Listen, what I'm saying, I'm just telling you how, unless you know more about being a woman than I do. I'm just saying, okay? I understand what it's showing you, but I'm telling you that you have way more power than you think you have, okay? Yes, if women saw men choosing, first of all, they saw you choosing anybody. Because at this point, 48% of marriage rate is too low, okay? So if women start seeing men marry women who are natural, which most do, I'm talking about men that they want marrying women, women who are natural, trust me when I say that those women will fall in line.
But you're saying that it has to be desired women. I mean, it has to be desired.
I hope that you think you're desired.
You know, no, but I'm just, well, when you say desire, that in my mind, when you say women will, if women see that we're marrying natural women, then they will, you know, respond accordingly. But it has to be certain kinds of men. It can't be. It
has to be a man that she wants. So what she desires could be. It has to be a man that she desires. People desire different things. So man that she desires, a woman, if you find a man you desire and he wants something, next you're gonna be like, oh, let me change myself. You know, you're gonna be Googling, YouTubing that food to get it on that plate. Because women, when they see something they want, they're gonna do everything they can to get that.
Shantae, I agree with you because if you think about other cultures and other religions, it's required for a woman to be a virgin if she wants to get married. They look at you as undesirable or tainted if you're not a virgin. Like the women who should cover, if you are not, if your sheet isn't red, if there's not blood on your sheet, you're undesirable. And women keep that standard because it's required by their fathers, their brothers, and the husbands that choose them.
Okay, can I say something?
We left the ball a long time ago, so we ain't going back to that
now. We can always start with the generation that's coming under us, our children.
Now, if you go,
I would like to say something.
Go ahead, Veronica, and I'm gonna go after you.
Oh, okay. I think diversity is good. I think that when you love who you are, right, you're gonna attract that person that you all are both on the same sheet. Not to say that, you know, necessarily go out, oh, because this is the trend now, let me change so I could get a husband. No, I think that you should be who you are. And if a person that you attract, if they're not into the wigs, whatever, they can say what they're not into, and then I'm not for you. Keep it moving, but this is what I like. Why should I change me totally just to have a man?
Hold on, but you are changing. But you are changing anyway. You're changing from a regular, like you change from a kid, right? Like you don't, nobody's like born or whatever this way. You know what I'm saying? Like you come, by the time you get to 7th and 8th grade, you've been fed images on what a woman looks like that don't necessarily match you. So by the time you get to be 19, you done developed into a whole other kind of person.
But when you know who you are, you don't have to conform to what social media says. You don't have to conform to what I'm supposed to look like to be a wife, dresses to my ankle, wearing these things. You don't have to conform to all of those things. What I'm merely saying is a person should like you for who you are, and you should like that person for who they are. And if there's a happy medium there. Let's just say, for example, Brewster, you know, decide to say, hey, Veronica, I'm not married, you're not married, let's go out or whatever. But, you know, I don't too much like that fade. Then I'll be like, well, Bruce, I don't too much like your bald head. So what you saying?
That's true. I'm not really a beard person.
I guess the clip ain't empty.
Hey, look.
I mean, you get what I'm saying, right? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Change their looks all the time. Dudes change their look all the time. When I first got with my kid's father, he told me, can you go get an S-curl kit for me? I thought his curls was fucking real. And I had natural hair. But it's like, I just feel like, why do y'all think that we wear these things for y'all? And I saw somebody said on the LAPEEF panel, they said, I told them, I said, well, men be wearing them these lace fronts. They be trying to, they put the dye on their beard. They don't want nobody to see that gray hair. And a man said on this panel, he said, well, we do this for other men.
We do.
Sure did. He sure did.
That was me. That was me.
Double standard. Pink standard.
I did not put this goddamn wig on for nobody on this goddamn panel. I put this wig on because I want to fucking wear it.
Look, can I say this? First of all, Veronica,
y'all don't do it for us, so don't.
I know you don't like the bald head, and I ain't even got it all the way bald either, because I usually get it lower than this. But I know I ain't got the hair, but I compensate in other areas.
Lower than that.
And it make your hair grow. But what I want to say is Kyle was absolutely right on what he was saying. And a lot of things you said, Veronica, before you got on me. I mean, whenever you wasn't on me, you were still right. You were still right. Strong point. Women are blaming black men for the way they change and transition through time on their looks. It's not even us. It's who you inspired by. So women were wearing these fros. They were inspired by the Angela Davises and all these other women. Now they're looking at what motherfuckers was wearing on TV and social media. I mean, not social media, but in the music industry and all this other stuff. These are is who they're inspired for. If you ask Mommy 3 Love who she's inspired, she gonna say Beyonce. That's why she got the colorful wigs and shit like that. If you ask Shan Monet who she's inspired, she probably say Sade or somebody like that. And if you ask Veronica Ferris who she's inspired by, she might say Jada Pinkett or somebody like that. If you ask Indy who she's inspired by, she might, who the hell are you inspired by?
Michelle Obama, Rupi Kaur.
And she's an engineer. Look at that. It's all about your inspiration, who you inspired by. So you're gonna try to reciprocate and look like who your inspiration is.
I don't look like Michelle.
I like Kobe. I love Kobe. That's why I don't even have to cut my hair. I can grow my hair. But I like Kobe.
You got the Kobe
whenever
cut,
I get ready to go on the court, I make sure my hair is bald and shit, and I walk in there and I'm talking shit.
Were you a lawyer?
Learn yourself and learn what looks good on
Are you an attorney?
No, I'm used to be in the military.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe you could just learn yourself and learn what looks good on you and just be unapologetic yourself. You don't have to.
But it doesn't work that way.
Everything you wearing right now, it didn't come from you. It came from somebody else you was inspired by.
So I
wear things that are considered.
You wear them titties inspired by somebody else. That ass you got, it was inspired by somebody else. That's why you got it on your back.
I have a question. By these two.
Well, not you necessarily, but you know women.
Oh, I'm gonna say.
What was your inspiration with these toupees and these lace fronts these men be having on because their hair can't grow in the front? So what
your inspiration? Your inspiration is fixated on the results of these women, not on the journey it took the women to get there. So y'all skip over the gym and all of the shit and all the dieting and the food they was eating.
I think both.
Just look at their red carpet appearance and be like, okay, I'm gonna match the red carpet appearance. But you gotta match the fucking journey they took to get to the red carpet.
I think that's both genders that do that. But I have a question. So, because I see women who are very natural. I know that there was a natural movement that amongst some women who is it because you want all women to be under that? Because I think that there's a woman for every man. Because I've met a guy who wants you to change up. He wants to see a different chick every day, even though it's the same chick. But do you think that it's because you guys want all of these options to fall in line so you can have all these options? Because it only takes one to get on your program. But what I'm hearing is you want everybody more options. Like if that hoe could just get in line, or if that person could just get in line, why just not choose the hoe? Go get the person who's already like that.
Well, when 70 to 80% of the population of women is out here following the same principles and the same look and trying to be the same.
He don't trust that hoe. He want peace. He gonna marry peace.
One thing y'all women do that I gotta give y'all props for that men don't do. Y'all come together on shit. Whenever y'all decide the look y'all want to do, the type of booty shorts y'all want to wear, the type of gym outfit. I swear I see the leopard printed gym fucking leggings everywhere. It's all the same. Y'all all agree on the same shit. And whenever y'all do that, it's like we looking at the same type of. We can't even determine who's a stripper and who's just a regular woman. It's then got that far.
I think that too.
So I think maybe you should have like a picture of what wifely material looks like. This is the kind of wife we want. This is the kind of woman we want to marry. Because what's being married and what you guys are saying you want, they sound like two different women. Do you want
look at Lapeef? Who is y'all know who Lapeef is?
But I do
you know who Lapeef is?
Yeah.
One who played the girlfriend for the Black Panther.
Well, hold on. Let Kelly about to dip, so let's let Kelly.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Thank you for having me on. I'm sorry I couldn't come up today. I'm moving, so I'm in my packing mode. I apologize. But thanks for having me on. I was gonna say something about men with pretty privilege, but I was passed. So I hope
you guys
have a
moving to, Kelly.
Oh,
it was a joke. It was a joke.
That's not for the internet, but I'll message you
Oh hell no! You moving in with that nigga Kelly?
Who?
Leave Kelly alone.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye, Kelly.
Bye, Kelly.
See you later, Kelly.
Bye. Okay, so what about her, Bruiser?
No, I was saying like women like that is a good example, but nobody wants to Do y'all know the woman I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. And let me just say this. You're absolutely right. I think she's beautiful. She is gorgeous. But are women, like the men who are, they're not, it's almost like they friend zone. I think that I don't see her being that woman that they're all like, ooh, because I thought her.
I was about to say colorism. Colorism. Let's be real. That colorism is still a very real thing, because I, as a light-skinned Black woman, I think that Lupita Nyong'o is absolutely beautiful. I think that SZA, and I've heard out of guys' mouths when I'm like, you don't like SZA, like you don't think she's pretty, you don't think a chocolate woman, and they're like, she too damn dark. Literally out of their mouth, they will say that.
The colorism still exists, but we don't know who she got behind closed doors. She may not always want to put. She may not want to put her business out. You know, she may not want to bring them on the red carpet with her. You know,
but colorism is a real thing, though, and I think
it really is.
Community, like
I'm a darkie, as that Raisin said the other night, a blackie.
Okay, wait. Let me ask y'all ladies a quick question.
Got to do with being fake and real.
He said that though, like we were on.
He brought up Lapeef.
Light-skinned women wear wigs. Dark-skinned women wear wigs. Light-skinned wear a lot of goddamn makeup. Dark-skinned women. Stop being fake. Be real.
You know what? I can't even blame Black women for this. And I know I might come off as a simp right now, but I think it may have something to do. And Veronica might be able to speak to this because she's probably a little bit more wiser than me, given her maturity in her years. Is it safe to say that women, like Black people specifically in America, has been stripped of their identity, and we've been forced to embrace an identity that not really, kin to us, that we have to go and put on an identity that we don't have all these years. Now it's became so normal, and we became used to it, versus these Black women that's coming from Africa and Nigeria and all these roles, you know what I'm saying? They got their identity. So they look good in it, and they're comfortable in it. And Black women can't really, that's been in America and been stripped of identity, can't really go back to that because they never had that. They never embraced it.
They can just mimic what they see. They can just mimic that instead of mimicking Arabian culture
that you don't believe you don't identify with. You don't see if you look in the mirror, I don't see myself, and how can I mimic that?
So let me just say this.
But we don't know anything about European culture either. So if we're gonna mimic a culture, then if it's all dress up, right? If we're all just
you're right. I was just asking the question.
I feel you. I'm just saying, like, why mimic that? That's not even a thing.
Let me just say this. You know why African women don't change? Because African men adore African women. They put their women on a pedestal. Our men back and forth. If you go to a dating app, you look at the stats. Black women chose Black men. Black men chose every race except for Black women and looking like idiots because they didn't choose them back. You know, I'm just saying, we will follow your lead. Whatever you desire, we are looking, and that's what we want to be. Okay? So he is absolutely right.
It's not true.
All right, can I say
not true?
Can I speak to what Bruce was saying?
Not you.
I think that.
Hold on for a second, baby. Look what we're dealing with.
Okay.
Look at what we're dealing with. When we sit there and tell, if a man sit there and tell you over and over again, hey, I prefer you with natural hair, not wearing that wig, that weave, eyelash, all that makeup, maybe to lose some weight, let's check the attitude a little bit. But guess what we get behind that? We get attitude. We get backlash. I mean, your own sister, what's that? What's the comedian name? Monique, I think that's her name. She's talking about, ladies, stop wearing the bonnet. Man, y'all told her a new asshole. She came with love and kindness.
That was
Monique.
So what y'all want us to accept? Y'all want us to deal? Y'all want us to be open doors? Say, come on in, bring your attitude, bring your wigs, bring your weave, bring your 3 children. Come on in. I accept your bullshit. Hell no. Look, I'm not a fan of the passport bros, right? I'm not a fan of the whole concept, but I understand. So if that means you need to cross over to get a woman that's going to get on your team and is going to love you, appreciate, and respect you, then go there. If you want to get you out of the race, get her.
Listen, I don't have a problem with passport bro, because you're absolutely right. We're living in this moment right now, and you cannot find somebody who is what you want right now. Go make yourself happy. If I see a man with a man and she is making him happy, I am all for it. I'm not that chick, okay? Because he was never mine. He just wasn't. So that doesn't hurt my feelings. I think that people need to move for what's best for them. We're talking about in general. overall, for the men who want black women, okay? If you start putting your focus, stop liking these chicks' pages that got their booties out, stop being a subscribe to their OnlyFans, find another hobby. Trust me.
No.
Can I say this? Listen, and it's not going to be 100% of women. You're not looking for 100%. You're just looking for one. Okay. So what I'm saying is a lot of women will conform. Will they be 100%? Absolutely not. I think hoes have a place in society. I do. You know, they've been here since the beginning of time. That shit runs in families.
But y'all, but they already know better. You already know better. Men been saying for the longest that we like Kelly Rowland more than we like Beyonce. Yet y'all women just won't know that we like Beyonce. I don't know why y'all always use that as like an example. Where we always say, well, Kelly Rowland's actually prettier. No, I want to be Beyonce. Look, she with Jay-Z and all this stuff. It's like, no, men don't say that.
So too. Yeah, Kelly Rowland wears weaves.
I'm not talking about, I'm just saying, I'm talking about when you guys say, well, if men say that it'll be this way, then women will conform. Well, that's not the case, because y'all say, oh, well, men don't like dark-skinned women like that, or black men don't really like dark-skinned women like that. That's a stereotype, or that's like a thing we say within the culture. But that's not necessarily true. Then y'all point to this one example of a man who went with somebody who's not dark-skinned when didn't nobody put them in a position to be like an authority.
But why y'all just can't take accountability of what she said? Y'all still going around fucking.
Women got a nerve to you can't even use accountability.
And wear the makeup. Y'all still going around screwing these women, giving these women validation, liking these women pictures. Stop liking these women pictures. Stop following
because they low key want to be with them. They low key want
it. That's not true.
That shows how much.
You hit it and miss it.
Veronica, don't backslide now. You know we don't want to be there. You want to smash.
Hey, I'm gonna give y'all some game real fast.
Easy. Let's not talk over each other.
That shows right there how much we do not respect y'all women like that. When y'all act like that, y'all carry like that, that shows you how much we don't respect you. We will fuck you, we will use you, we will abuse you, and we'll kick your sorry ass to the goddamn curb. That just shows how much we have no respect
about that, Hink. Let Veronica go, and then I have a question about what you just said, Hink.
All right,
I hear you clearly.
Thank you. So, Bruiser, you were saying earlier about how the women, of society changes or whatever as far as the hair is concerned. Now, years ago, when you was working in the corporate world, you see your news forecasters. In order to get jobs like that, they wouldn't accept us to come in like this. You would not get a job with your natural hair. So what did we do? We went to relaxers to keep our hair relaxed. We went to look more of the Caucasian look in order to get a job. But as years turned, people were just like, you know what? No, you're not going to discriminate me. I forget the lady that started that sued her company that she worked for because she had dreads, right? And they was like, that's not in dress code. But until that movement started, we were still trying to be like them in order to get better jobs. And now we're just like, no, this is who I am. I'm not changing my culture for you. My hair has nothing to do with my job capabilities. So
absolutely. No. What happened was what you said. Hold on, let me just respond to her. What you said was true. But what happened was women was fed up with it, and they went out in March and they came together and they made them change the laws. And they said, hey, look, we're going to do this our way. They saw the inspiration in the singers and the actors and stuff. And they're like, I want to be like this. You know what I'm saying? I want to be like that. So we got to change this stuff. But you're right. I stated that it was employment. Employment had reshaped the way the woman looks, you know what I'm saying, as far as work. And if you're going to look like a lot of these jobs require you to look the part when you're even away from work. So you're right.
Yeah, let me say this real fast, and then let you go. Give me a second, mommy. I wanted to, because I don't want to go too far from what Hink said. And I think Hink is absolutely right. But I think that what he needs to understand is, even if you're pumping and dumping, as you just said, women like adoration, okay? They want to feel desired. They want to feel wanted. And so even if you are, in her mind, she's thinking, oh, I have a chance with him. It's like a delusion. I get it. That's just how we're hopeless romantics, some of us, So even if you want the standard to change, even when it comes to the person you pumping and dumping, you can't choose her. Okay, because that's in their mind, they're like, that's the person he desires. You understand? So you have to change the standard, period. And I would hope that you're not pumping and dumping anybody first and foremost, but it has to go well, right? Those people cannot get any attention for this to work. You can't say, oh, I'm choosing, because some hoes don't know they hoes sometimes. They don't know that they're the second chick sometimes.
So with the given manosphere, you don't think that women know this now? That look, the women that we smashing on the side is not who we really want.
Aren't even on YouTube. A lot of women, yes, they are, but a lot are not.
I'll tell you what you're saying.
Most of the demographics, and if JR would tell you, most of the people who follow his fan base are men. So
that's 100% true.
So they're not hearing your message. Now they may have their own female thing going on, but they're not tapping into this. Okay. So with that being said, all they can go off is the action. And if you're showing these women that you desire them, then that's what they're gonna. Especially young girls who don't know any better. They're like, oh, I have to be this person because that's what he desires.
So what are y'all women telling y'all friends, y'all other counterparts, y'all peers? What are women telling women? Like, aren't y'all making each other aware of these things since we can't seem to get it done? Y'all able to get all this stuff done, all these marches and all these policies. Why can't y'all fix your relationships?
So I'm gonna say this and I'm about to get off because I gotta go. But I think that, like, I have friends that do stuff that I'm like, why would you do that? It's really hard to hold other women accountable, especially if you have a circle of friends that also has a really like strong personality. Women, we do not like to listen to other women. Like, that requires you to humble yourself and what you know as a woman. And especially if she is getting guys, if whatever she's doing has been working for her, she's getting money from guys, she's getting dates, she's getting time, attention. It's hard for you as another woman to come in and say, like, that's like mothering another woman kind of, and doesn't know other
me, somebody like Veronica, you can't listen to her?
I will listen to, like, that's what I'm saying, but you have to want to do that.
You have to want.
I'm in my head and I'm in my ego and I'm like, I'm not listening to you. I just had a guy send me $500 the other day. I had a guy fly me out. I've had conversations with girlfriends and they say this stuff. Indy, I'm not listening to you.
And let me give you an example, Bruce, so you can better understand. If you had two options, a girl who, if she moves this way, she's getting attention. If she moves the exact opposite way, she's getting no attention. She's probably going to move the way where she was getting the attention. You understand? Yes. Whether it's good or not, we know. I think if you have morals, you know better. But let's just be honest. Most people in this, that's kind of left the building.
Because nobody talks about that, though.
Y'all heard what y'all saying, though? This shows how weak-minded y'all are.
But
we are weak. Remember what
this is what y'all saying. Y'all are that weak-minded. That's what y'all have to operate.
So we're talking in general. The people, I get what you're saying.
Talking in general,
right? And you're
weak-minded women.
Absolutely
weak-minded women, yes. And to the point. So y'all want us to turn water into wine? Y'all, you saying the women not listening to y'all, but you think they're gonna listen to us?
Because they want you. They desire you.
I'm gonna say it again, black man. They don't give a damn about us.
I can't give a woman a beat.
So she just contradicted herself. She said the woman would listen to the men, but you just stated women won't even watch this show.
If they digmatize my homegirl, I can tell my homegirl, look, man, that dude playing you. He ain't doing, man, that dude is treating you.
That's because her heart is involved.
That girl is not gonna listen to me. Cause guess what? That dude is digging her down. That man doing something that I can't.
Heart is involved.
So it's still the blame is on us.
It's not. I think. Listen. For this particular conversation,
we better start turning water into wine.
For what we're talking about, when we're talking about the context of this, we're telling you what men can. Because the question was, if men stop tolerating, no, men are not responsible for what's going on today. It's not. But if men stop tolerating bullshit in unison, they will change. And I'm telling you, they will change. Now, the question was, do women close their legs to these men just because they give them a Happy Meal? Then we can talk about that.
So change. You know what can change women. What do we got to do? If you know what we can do to change and make y'all listen, what are you supposed we do and how should we?
I'm trying to men hold other men accountable. Y'all do. Y'all are very good at that in y'all's community of holding each other accountable for the negative things that you do. Women, We do not hold each, like I've lost friends. I have lost female friends over saying, hey girl, you're being a hoe. You're being a this. You're being a that.
Yes.
Calling it out. You will lose. She'll be like, "Oh, you're just a hater. You're just mad because I'm getting this, and that, and I'm getting this kind of attention. It's been working for me this far. I'm not listening to you." I've had friends that I've told, "Hey, during this this period of singleness, you're going to be lonely. You're going to have guys hit you up and be like, hey, can I slide through?" You have to go against that. You have to say no. So that's other women holding other women accountable, and you will lose friends because they're ducks. They want to follow the other ducks. They don't want to go
against.
against.
Follow the other ducks, because let me tell you, your weakest link is a reflection of you. Get her out of your circle.
Yes, and I had a girl. She was married and thought she was gonna sleep her ass on my couch. I said, you don't get home to your goddamn hug and get your ass up off my couch, because I can't help you be a hoe. And you know what? I ain't friends with her ass no more, because she thought she was finna lay her married ass on my couch when she got a husband at home. And guess what?
Let's get to these. Let's get to these super chats. Let's get to these super chats real quick here.
I was hating on her.
All right. Shout out Alice Trebek for the $20. Bruiser. It takes us not the top 20%. It's maybe the top 40% of men which genetically and historically reproduce. In the sexual marketplace, women want looks. Marriage marketplace, women want finances and competence.
I can rate 40%. That's fine.
Prophecy to Savior, thank you for the $10. Hink is cool, bro. You're absolutely right. I tell men all the time, stop trying to convince women who don't want to be convinced. Let them keep trying to fight for the top 20%. It is what it is. Then we got Prime VA 757. I think I just highlighted this one. Most men don't like weave. If y'all want to wear it, just say you want to wear it. I agree with that.
Next time, throw $1.99 at least on it.
Hey. Prophecy to Savior, another $10. Men, go where you're appreciated, not where you are tolerated. Stop chasing women who only want you because of your money. That's not real love. All right. And then shout out to Matt Gray. Thank you for the $5. Simply Indie. Offset married Cardi B literally only because she is rich. I don't know about that one, but
yeah, because she kind of moved like that. That's her type.
No, she talked about what she does in addition in her songs, and it ain't got nothing to do with her money.
Right. Cardi B got skills.
She is a freak 7 days a week.
Dorian Thomas, thank you for the $10. It's the catfishing part. A lot of y'all be a 4 or 5 with all that on. You got to 8 or 9. When it comes off, fellas, be like mind blown.
You got to do the shirt test. Give them a hug. If they makeup rub off on your shirt, oh, it's a no-go.
Oh, man. Marcus Evans, thank you for the $5. Veronica is triggered. No, Veronica was just, she was here for the smoke. She gave it back to y'all. That's all that was.
She was.
Prophecy to Savior, another $5. Appreciate you. Men come on these panels every day explaining what they look for in a woman, and every day women come on these panels to fight against it. It's pointless. Quiet.
I want to say something about that. We're gonna bring that back up.
Yeah. Shout out again, Dorian Thomas. $5 is always our fault. Imagine you're talking about us men. Shout out T Harris. Thank you for the $4.99. Black men, please, I'm begging you, run, save yourselves. Here I go. Shout out to Kobe Jordan. Thank you for the $4.99. Listen, ladies, myself and thousands of black men have already left. I'm headed to Brazil 2023. Not coming back.
Be safe. Have fun.
Shout out
you
to
get you a baddie, honey.
Shout out to the passport bros. This is an epidemic out there. Prophecy to Savior, thank you again for the $5. The problem is women think black men are not choosing them because of their look when it is really because of the attitude. And they would never admit it. The last one, Natasha's here. Thank you for the $9.99. If you aspire to get the same attention Insta thoughts get, you get the same results they get. That attention is not good attention. It's only lustful. Is that all you want from a man?
Agreed.
I'm on the camera.
What do you want to add? Monet, go ahead.
Oh, it was a comment. Did you put the comment? Because I got ADD. I'm sorry.
I
got ADD. It was a comment that came. it's about my theory on, so what he was saying, that men on the internet are saying what they want. But again, going back to what we said, I look at it like it's like the Kevin Samuels movement, okay? And let me just tell you, I love Kevin Samuels. I know women have a problem with Kevin Samuels. I wasn't one of them because I thought that he spoke the real, like he was honest in his speaking. If you take away all the way he did it, what he was saying was very true, But let me just say this. I can't say, from my opinion, he made the high value man popular. Because women weren't looking for no high value man before KS. They weren't. I don't even think they knew what that term was. They were okay with not being in a hypergamous relationship. They were okay with paying bills. But the whole trend, the whole thing coming around, and now everybody's like, oh, I got to get one of those. I got to get one of those. I got to get one of those. And it made this whole trend of, oh, everybody now wants a high value man that you wouldn't even know nothing about 4 or 5 years ago. Hypergamy. Most people didn't even know what hypergamy meant until 2 years ago. Unmute your mic.
Explain hypergamy to me, because I never watched Kevin Samuels. I heard of him, but I never watched them. So if you could explain that to me, please.
So hypergamy is just saying women want them. They want somebody who's at their level or above, but mostly above their level. When it comes to financial, I think he placed a lot of emphasis on financial. And to me, that's a high earner, not really necessarily high value, because sometimes you can be a high earner and an asshole, and there ain't no value in that. But that was just but again, and I don't want to focus too much on that, because he did have some great, some of the things that he said, they were absolutely correct. But I do believe that started a trend of people now looking for a certain guy. There are women who did not have access to these men. There is women who did desire an attorney or a doctor. They were okay with the homeboy who would work the cashier next to them. Now they all think, because they're beautiful, that they can get this high value man, because he doesn't care about the education. He doesn't care about your past. He just cares that you're beautiful, you're fit, feminine, and whatever, all of those things. And that's not, and now those women who were traditionally made for those men are missing out on those women, because those women are aiming higher than they really are. They never had access to those men before. They didn't even want access to those men before. They were okay with Billy, who was doing the fries and the burger. He was getting it before, but now she think because she a little cute, she can get this guy who she never even thought about in the past. Because now it's a trend. We like what trend. There it is. We're impressionable people, and that's, to me, what took place.
Okay. But I mean, who's that on to keep that?
Because I know how the internet is. It's just my opinion, because I feel like these guys deserve. I think there's a woman for every man. But when women are going to another level and trying to bet outside their level or do things, it messes the whole course up. Because guess what? That man, he's got 10 chicks. What about this man who wants you? He doesn't have anybody. He wants to be serious about you, but you're okay with being this guy's 10th chick. Like, what? Why is that okay?
Hey, well, we got Sage Talk today at 3:00, so please tune in. And again, appreciate y'all coming on Lapeef Network. Please like and subscribe to the channel. We got a couple more super chats here I want to get to before we log off today. A winner never quits. Appreciate what is that, a euro for it? $4.49?
He paid to say Indy was shallow as fuck.
Oh my goodness. Haters gonna hate, right? You fine. But appreciate that. Then we got Charles Keys Sr. Thank you for the $5. Wear a bikini and get me a beer or drive a trash truck. Okay. Then shout out to is that Blaze Skywalker? Thank you for the $9.99. Protect Shan Monet at all costs. She's giving the game. Stop simping, fellas. And lastly, again, shout out to Prophecy the Savior. Thank you for the $10. Monet, that's not true. Chaos was telling Average to be with average men and stop chasing high earning men when he was fighting for average men. You misinterpreted his message. Please watch his last live stream.
So let me just say this, because I get what he's saying, and that's not what I was saying. Let me clarify. I hear what KS is saying. I'm telling you how it was interpreted by the women. They were like, oh, because they don't know when they look in the mirror that they're not a 10. They don't know. So what they're doing is they heard him say, oh, if you're beautiful, you can get this guy. So they all think they're beautiful. And now they all want that guy. And when in actuality, that's not even the guy that is. So you're right. KS said average and average, but do most women think that they're average? They don't. Let's just be honest.
He was also waking women up to recognize their sexual market value, because a lot of women were still having the same entitlement as a woman who was 20 in her early 20s as a woman who was in her late 30s, as far as similar values, as far as image. I think he even came off as a, what do you call it, image consultant or some shit like that, professional image consultant. He was just making women recognize that, hey, look, you don't have to go out here and earn all this stuff. You don't have to go and put all these years on your body and all these bodies on your body. You can get these high earning men if you take care of your health, fitness, and stuff like that. Guys are gonna be attracted to you, and you'll be able to pick and choose whenever you in this window. And I think he exposed that to these women, and women are starting to recognize, oh damn, I'm 22 years old, I'm completely healthy, I'm in shape, you know what I'm saying, beautiful. I can go get this guy, and I work at Burger King. A lot of girls that work at Burger King might not have not thought that before they heard Kevin Samuels speaking. So I think it woke up these women to a point where they were beginning to recognize the guys that they qualify for. And they didn't necessarily have to go have a degree. They didn't necessarily have to become a doctor or nurse or engineer. They could have these men and not have that level of career.
Yeah, I understand that, but I feel like Kevin Samuels also taught these women, like, sometimes you being too honest could get you a nothing, a zero, not a million. Most women that's being being too honest, because let's keep it real, most of these women that's married now, if they was just completely honest with everything before they got married, or some of the skeletons that's in their closet now, that man probably would not even marry them. And sometimes
so that means you should probably carry yourself to a point where you can be honest with the man you want to marry.
Yeah, and I feel like honesty and accountability is really the key. Because sometimes women, they get, they slip through them cracks and they get married, and most of these men be marrying these hoes.
Where are all these men marrying all these hoes at? Like, where are they?
In Mississippi. They in Mississippi.
Baby, my auntie, boy, that's a full hoe. She a full hoe and she married, but she keeping it together.
I don't think in everyday life most men are married. I think that when we talk about TV, yes, but or social, but I think that in real life, when you walk outside, men are married to great women. Like when I go outside, I don't see hoes. I see women who are fully dressed, mother shopping. Hi,
Girl, these women be lying. I'm just gonna be honest, man. I can tell you some stuff. You'll be like, girl.
Oh, Lord.
I'm just saying, I'm just being honest, man. Y'all be careful. Like, men, y'all be careful with these women. Y'all ask these women some real good questions. Because I'm just letting you know.
You do need to be careful.
Nice, look nice, and all this and that. They got some shit that you probably would never know about, and they're going to take it to their grave. So sometimes you got to be careful with the count. Because sometimes the count numbers be wrong. You think you marry somebody that only fuck 2 men, they lying. They lying.
Shout out to the
that needs to be a whole nother conversation. 304.
Shout out to the high
that needs to be
body
a whole other conversation.
Well, look, man, we're gonna wrap it up here, man. I appreciate everybody coming out on behalf of JR too. And again, please stay tuned for Sage Talk. Black men need leadership. The OGs are needed in the culture. I'm gonna have to go ahead and agree with that for sure. One of the things that our Black community is lacking is them OGs that are supposed to pass down the game, men and women. So, you know what I mean? So tune into that with Dr. Lee and Sage Talk.
Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. She Critique is coming back. Woo woo.
Please.
It's okay.
Stay tuned for that as well. Every Friday, 9 p.m. Tell them when again? 9 p.m. every Friday.
9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And my name is Shamo. No, not Shantae anymore. So you guys don't have to put that up there no more. No more government. Just Shamo. Thank you.
There you go.
Okay.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, everybody. I'll check you out.
All right. Y'all have a great Sunday. Go Bears. Are they winning right now? Are they beating Detroit?
Bears.
What's going on with these Bears?
We barely hold on, Cal.
Hey, okay. There you go. How much time? 3 minutes left? Look at that. Look at God. All right, y'all.
What do you do?
All right, fellas.